You big dildo, eat your fucking slop. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Franchise Deep Dive with Jake and Josh, the podcast where we break down, dissect, and discuss all of your favorite and least favorite movie franchises. I'm Jake.
And I'm Josh, and that quote just really grossed me out. Just grossed me out. That's like my least favorite thing in that movie.
It's like my favorite thing.
Ugh.
Ever since I was a kid, I got such a fucking, I think I mentioned it in our last episode, in the first one, when we were talking about our histories with it and how I got into horror movies when they put all the Friday the 13th on Netflix for the first time. And ever since I was a kid, watching part 5, when that fucking disgusting hillbilly lady, when she calls him a fucking dildo. I don't know why, but as a 12-year-old, it was just the funniest shit to me. And here I am, 15 years later, still laughing my ass off at it. Either way, fuck these movies. Nah, I'm just kidding. But either way, guys, obviously, if you didn't look at the title of the episode, we are on part 2 of our 4-part Friday the 13th franchise deep dive. In the first part, we covered Friday the 13th part 2, and Friday the 13th part 3. So, any guesses what we're tackling this episode? That's right, we are tackling what people refer to as the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, that being Friday the 13th, 4, 5, and 6. I don't really know what else to say. Should we get right into it, or?
Yeah, I'm on IMDb right now, and I'm looking at the posters. I could have sworn the poster for 5 was the shitty
mask.
hockey. It was the shitty hockey mask,
Dude.
And now it's just font. It's just words.
We have to be in a fucking simulation. The entire time I was looking up IMDb trivia for part 5, I thought I was having the Mandela effect, thinking I was that's not the poster that I know. And apparently that's the theatrical poster. That's what they went with. But for some reason, I think it even says, I think when you go on the Wikipedia page for Friday the 13th part 5 New Beginning, that is the theatrical poster that they went with.
I don't know why it's not the poster on Letterboxd.
It's not the poster on Letterboxd. It's not. I don't know what you watched this on. I had to watch this on Pluto TV, which had commercial ads, which is always fun. Ever since I can remember as a kid, being 12 years old, watching these movies on Netflix, the 5th poster has always been The Mask. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was so confused the whole time. I don't know.
When I was on IMDb, I was on the 4th one, and just to make my life easier, I just scroll down to the more like this to go to the next one. It just shows you all the Friday movies, and I'm like, why are they not showing the 5th one? Where is that? I could not find it. And
it makes absolutely no fucking sense. But I'm glad. I'm glad you noticed that too, because I wasn't even gonna bring it up because I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just an idiot and I'm misremembering. But okay, so
I've never seen that poster. I've never seen that a day in my life.
Neither have I.
Until today.
Yeah. It's not even the poster on Pluto TV. I don't even. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we just kick things off with Friday the 13th, the final chapter?
Let's do it.
This is the last one, guys. It's called the final chapter, so it's definitely the last one, right? It's got to be. Either way, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, was released in 1984. It is directed by Joseph Zito, who has directed one of my other favorite lower tier slashers. Not sure if you've seen The Prowler, but he did that film. I'm a pretty big fan of it. It's pretty cool. It's about this killer dressed up in this old World War II vet outfit, and he goes around just murdering people at this dance. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Where does that rank above some of the Friday movies in terms of entertainment? How much you like
I would watch it over most of these.
Wow.
It's got some fun kills. It actually has some suspense and some atmosphere to it. The opening scene is pretty cool. It kicks off at this dance in the 50s, right after World War II. It opens up with a bunch of World War II footage. It's got some cool stuff to it. And I think a lot of that is Joseph Zito being maybe the best director for a Friday the 13th movie. Don't want to lend my hand too much. But these movies been pumping out once a year every year since 1980. So of course the 4th one comes out in 1984, which is always pretty nice. But I will go into the budget and all, if I can pull up my notes. It had a budget of $2.2 million, box office of $33 million, and a Rotten Tomatoes score of 22%, which is not good.
I wanted to kind of go back to you pointing out that this is the final chapter and it's got to be the final one.
Yeah.
Are you like, can you how many horror movies can you think, or horror sequels, where they have the final chapter or final something in like the subtitle?
Does Final Destination count?
Yeah. I have like a list here of movies that do that, and there's so many, and every time they do it, there's always a sequel after.
Rattle them off. I'm intrigued.
All right, so we got obviously the final chapter, followed by 7 sequels and a reboot. Okay. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, which I didn't. Is it called The Final Friday? I thought it was just called Jason Goes to Hell.
I also thought it was just called Jason Goes to Hell, but also there's I don't know if you noticed this. There is weird inconsistencies with the titles of these movies. If you go on IMDb, it's just Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. If you go on most streaming services, it's Part 4, The Final Chapter.
Oh, really?
It's like weirdly inconsistent with that, and they do it with like other ones too. Like a Friday the 13th, I've seen ones where it just says Friday the 13th, Jason Lives, no Part 6. It's like oddly weird.
But it's never on the poster. The 4 is never on the poster.
It's weird then. I guess maybe they just wanted to make it easier for people to watch them like numerically on streaming services, so maybe they did it that way. But either way, continue.
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, followed by 2 sequels and a remake. Puppet Master 5, The Final Chapter, followed by 10 sequels.
I have never seen a single Puppet Master.
Me neither. 15 Puppet Masters? No way.
Is that true? There's 15 Puppet Masters?
I got to fact
Josh,
check
that cannot be true. I thought Halloween had the most in any horror franchise.
Yeah, check that as I read these off, because this one I'm kind of blown away by too. Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice, followed by, well, this says followed by 9 or 7 sequels and 2 reboots.
What?
Yeah,
I thought there was like
know.
6 children. How many times can the children escape the corn? I don't understand.
Saw, The Final Chapter, followed by 3 sequels. And
that
the Final
wasn't that one also the fourth one? Is that Saw 4?
It can't be, because there's more than 3 sequels.
Which one?
Wow, this post was made 6 days ago. Wow.
Well, that's timely.
Yeah. There's probably more, but
that's crazy. Well, now I was already hesitant about ever doing Puppet Master. Now we are for sure not doing Puppet Master.
Wait, did you say that there are 15?
Oh, I'm trying to look. It's hard because, guys, I don't know if you know this. Josh has like an actual mic stand, like for his mic. So he just gets to sit in his nice little comfy chair and talk the whole time. I have a boom mic attached to like a recorder, so I have to like hold my mic for the entire episode. And if you guys have followed this podcast at all, we have a Harry Potter episode that is 4 hours long. So yeah,
I don't know how he does it.
That's how my biceps are so big. How many Puppet Masters are there? I'm glad we're staying on track this episode. How many Puppet Masters?
Yeah, Jesus.
Are there? Don't worry, guys. I know I always say it, but I definitely think this one will be shorter than the last episode, because I think me and Josh are in a lot more agreement on these next 3 movies. We kind of had a little bit of disagreement on the pros and cons of the first 2 Friday the 13th. Josh hates the first one, and I think it has some merits.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's Puppet Master, Puppet Master 2, Puppet Master 3. Oh, okay. So there's sort of spin-offs. Because after Puppet Master, they include Doll Man, a movie called Demonic Toys, something called Bad Channels, and then Puppet Master 4, Puppet Master 5, Curse of Puppet Master, Retro Puppet Master, another one, Puppet Master verse Demonic Toys. Actually, I lied. We are totally doing this franchise next year.
Oh, boy.
That's all right. It'll be like, what, 5 episodes? 3 each? I can do it. I can't do it. All right, guys, I'm going to read the synopsis, and then we are going to get into talking about these movies. And if you didn't check out our last episode, part 1 on the Friday the 13th series, like I said, we tackled the first 3 Friday movies. And the way that we do our ratings are a little bit different for these episodes, as we thought it would be fun to do an actual score at the end, like we normally do, like what our actual rating for the movie is, and then rate it on a Friday the 13th movie scale, to which we did 3 categories: nudity, which is out of 3 points, kills, which is out of 3 points, and then overall entertainment value, which is out of 4, all equaling out to 10. So we'll give our actual score at the end, and then also our Friday score, which Josh is not happy about for this episode.
Nah, I'm feeling pissed off about it, and I'll tell you guys why at the end.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
All right, so let me just pull up this quick synopsis. Hopefully, it's more detailed than the one for part 3. After being announced dead and taken to a morgue, Jason Voorhees spontaneously revives, escapes from the hospital, and stalks a group of friends renting a house in the countryside near Crystal Lake. So I guess that sets up the plot a little bit better. The plot for the third one was just like, oh, Jason goes and kills more people. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the extent of it. So I kind of already lent my hand a little bit early. So we are obviously going to be revisiting all the other Friday the 13th movies. Out of the 6 that we have watched thus far on this rewatch, I don't think it's a crazy statement to say, though, that Joseph Zito did the best job at directing a Friday movie with Friday the 13th, the final chapter. I think this has some of the best pacing in the franchise. I think it has some of the best kills, and there's actually some scenes that are rather suspenseful. And there was even some like camera work and some shots that I thought were actually pretty decent for this franchise, all things considered.
I think this also has the best atmosphere and mood. Like it just nails it 100%. And I'll get more into it, I guess, because you probably agree with it too. But I love how they, it's so dark. Like it just gives such a more like creepy vibe than I think any of the others like get down. Like there's a lot of shadow work. Like
oh yeah,
I mean, well yeah, I don't know, like. Do we have to like do any more intro stuff before we go into the movie?
No. I think we laid out everything: director, budget, box office, synopsis, all that stuff. Yeah. So we are free to dive in, buddy. Which I wanted to kind of kick off. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Oh no. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because it was a big criticism that we had in Friday the 13th 2 and 3. Did you notice anything different about the intro of this movie?
Oh yeah. It doesn't spend 10 minutes just playing back the previous film.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's like, what is it? I'm trying to remember because like we had this problem before. They're kind of fusing together. I remember the opening of 5 and 6. I'm trying to remember the exact opening of 4, but I know it doesn't like replay.
So what happens is instead of at the end or at the beginning of 2 and 3, you, like Josh said, you essentially get not even a recap. You get essentially the final 10 minutes of the previous movies. So in the second one, you see the whole chase sequence with Alice and then her decapitating Pamela Voorhees. And then in 3, you get the entire final confrontation with Ginny, played by Amy Steele, who I've looked into this. It seems that a lot of people agree with you, Josh. A lot of people think that her character Ginny is the best final girl in the franchise. Yeah. So, and which I'll agree with that. I think she really nails it. She's really badass. She's actually kind of intelligent. She's pretty smart. But either way, yeah. So the way that 4 starts, and it kind of lends to the idea that they were clearly, evidently, not just in the name, the final chapter, but they were clearly going for, this is the culmination, this is the conclusion to the story of Jason Voorhees. And they do kind of a compilation of the kills and people talking about Jason of the previous 3 movies. So you get like the opening campfire scene, or not the opening scene, but one of the first scenes in the second film, which is all of the new counselors at Camp Crystal Lake or whatever they call it in that movie. It's them around the fire talking about Jason and talking about what happened on that Friday the 13th when he saw his mother decapitated. And
what does it show from the first film? Like, does it go film by film, like giving you a little snippet of like?
I don't remember the exact sequence of scenes, but all I just remember is them showing different scenes and different kills from the previous 3 movies, which is just a much better starting point than just showing me the last 10 minutes of the previous movie. So I really appreciated
just hitting
that.
play on the last. Yeah.
And I appreciated it even more when I was looking into kind of trivia and behind the scenes facts about this movie. It was actually director Joe Zito who made that decision. He said he didn't want to start the film just recapping the last one, which I really appreciate, and is already starting this film off on a much better note. It's really cool, too, that this is the first Friday the 13th film where the opening scene outside of the compilation of previous scenes starts where the last movie ended. So you start this film at the farm from the last movie. The medics have already kind of pulled everybody away. You see Jason in the barn with the machete in him, and they put the kind of white sheet over Jason's barn.
Oh, yes.
And then they bring him to the morgue. But it was just cool. It's a nice little like through line connecting the last movie. It's not just like, oh, hey, here's the literal. You could just watch the ending of the last movie. Like, it's so unnecessary. So I'm really glad that they kind of jumped right into it. But I don't really know.
Would they keep the mask on him? Would they keep the mask on him when they're like putting him on stretcher and like in the ambulance? That was when we were watching it. When we were watching it, Lauren was like, I feel like they wouldn't leave the mask on him, but I don't know. He doesn't have a weapon still, right? No, he doesn't.
No, I don't. I mean, I would assume they take the machete out of him, hopefully, they bring him to the morgue. But
this leads into like probably my favorite opening scene. Like, I mean, I count this as like the opening scene, like the hospital scene, or like at least one of the beginning
where the
scenes.
actual plot really starts to like.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I get a little like Halloween 2 feel from it.
I get more of a Halloween 4 vibe.
See, I swear I have to rewatch Halloween 4. I do not remember it like at all. But mainly just like the hospital setting and like the two, like the nurses, like.
Well, that's where I think of 4, because 4 starts, or Halloween 4 starts with them transporting Michael in a rainstorm from the hospital. So like he's on the gurney, very similar to how Jason's on the stretcher, and there's just a lot of similarities to the point where I was like, this feels like kind of like an homage to Halloween. No, wait, it couldn't have. This came out before Halloween 4.
Yeah,
I
was just gonna say.
What am I even talking about?
Yeah, I was looking up Halloween 4. I was like, wasn't that late 80s?
It was because it was. I think it was 88, because even the film itself is set 10 years after the events of the original film.
So I guess maybe Halloween 4 took a little from Final Chapter.
Yeah, see, these movies are very inspiring and impactful on the genre. But yeah, so what I love is that, so much about this franchise is very iconic. It's very in the pop culture world. Everybody kind of knows Jason Voorhees. Like, even people who aren't into horror, they have probably seen at least one Friday the 13th film, or they know of it. And to the point where people kind of have this Mandela effect where they almost forget. I've had in college, I don't know if I mentioned this in the first episode, but I watched it with my college roommate who has seen these movies, and he totally forgot that in the first one it's not Jason, that it's the mom.
Yeah.
The second one, you get the bag head. In 3, he hides in a fucking barn because he's shy for most of the movie and doesn't want people to see his ugly, disgusting dog face. And then he gets the mask from Shelley, the worst character in the entire franchise. And then he gets that iconic hockey mask, to which he's really, really known for, which I know a decent amount of Friday the 13th fans actually love the bag over the head from 2. I think it's fine. I think the hockey mask is just cooler.
Do some people like the bag more than the hockey mask? I don't really know. Like, I mean, there's definitely some, but like,
I think the majority prefers the hockey mask, but there is like a subset, not even an insignificant amount of Friday the 13th fans, at least from what I've seen through online discourse, that do really like the bag. Maybe it's just because it's like unique, it's different than the rest of the franchise, so I can understand that. But when it comes to this one,
what you were saying about your friend, like, even that has seen these movies, I wonder if Wes Craven has run into that with like his fellow horror movie friends, and I wonder if that's why he wrote that in the Scream script. Like, he has a girl that's like a huge like horror fanatic, but she does not remember Mrs. Voorhees being the killer. I wonder if that's like the same thing. Like Like I wonder when that started, or like when people started forgetting.
I love that scene in Scream though, because it's like Ghostface is like paraphrasing, but he's just like, "Nah, you fucking idiot! It's actually his mom. Jason doesn't show up till the second one. Stupid bitch! I'm gonna gut you like a fish." All right, Mr. Ghostface, calm the fuck down, Mojo Jojo. But no, yeah, back to Friday the 13th. I just love though that this is the first one where you really get Jason in his full form, with the hockey mask. He doesn't hide in a barn. They don't obscure his face for most of the movie. You just get Jason through and through throughout the entire film, which is fun. It really does feel like this movie is like the culmination. And I wanted to bring up something else that I really like about this movie, and it's the introduction of Corey Feldman as Tommy Jarvis. And it's not because I'm a big Corey Feldman fan, even though I think he did create the greatest album of all time, Angelic to the Core. Yeah, great album. But no, I think there is something to just introducing a kid into the story, to where the other three films, it's just like adults and teenagers, but the automatic introduction of a child character immediately adds a little bit of a scarier factor to it, because it's like there is just something about a kid dying that is way more traumatic and terrifying than him massacring all these horny teenagers, fucking and drinking and smoking and sucking and fucking and all that stuff. So I don't know. Do you like?
Yeah. Yes, I like that you finally get, and he's likable too. Like, which I think a lot of the teenagers in this movie are considerably more likable than we've gotten before. Besides, like maybe a couple others. Like I like a couple in two, but as a whole, I'm just digging everyone's like energy, or like just interactions with each other. But I like that you have this kid that is like, he's just an innocent kid, so you finally have this like battle of like innocence versus evil, like, you know, purity.
Yeah.
Like it just creates a little bit more of a dimension, because like by this point the series is getting a little played out. Like we're still following the same formula, so I like that you kind of add these you know, different levels to the story to like give you something a little bit to like grab onto a little bit more. And I think Corey Feldman just does I think he's a standout performance in like a lot of this series. I don't know, like even just like the scene of him when he like sees the couple in their room, his like reaction to that, I don't know, I love it. I think it's funny.
I wrote a note about that. I forget exactly what I had said, but what did I write? Oh, fuck. God damn. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I wrote, I wonder what direction Joe Zito gave to Corey Feldman when he told him to act like a spaz for 30 seconds straight.
That could have been just all Corey Feldman doing that.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, because it's obvious, and I read in behind the scenes fact, he's a kid. He was a kid at the time, obviously, so they obscured him from a lot of the violence and nudity that is in the film, and there is a lot of nudity. But so I'm just wondering what Joe Zito's direction was to a young Corey Feldman when he's like, did he tell him like, oh hey, like you're supposed to be like perving on these teenagers, like react as if you're seeing boobies. Like, I'm just wondering like what he told him, because Corey Feldman is like, for 30 seconds straight, just like losing his shit. He's not just like peeking and like looking and being like, oh, this is ooh.
Dude, he's going nuts.
He's losing his fucking mind. His body is contorting like he's in the fucking Exorcist. Like he's getting,
he just
fucking
buries his head in the pillow like he
exorcised.
can't believe it. It's I love it.
Yeah, it was funny. Because I had read, it was something like Corey Feldman going off of the whole, like, them trying to hide him and obscure all the nudity from him being a child actor and everything. And he had said that there's one scene, though, where I forget which actress, but one of the actresses, like, bent over to talk to him, and he could see down her cleavage. And all I could think of was, the only way that this knowledge and information would have come to light was if Corey Feldman was like bragging about it in an interview years later when he was like, yeah, they thought they had me fooled, but I was able to see some titties. You know, I saw something. But yeah, I love exactly what you said, where it is getting very formulaic and stale at this point. And I won't be honest, I enjoy these three, 4, 5, and 6, but when I was sitting down to watch them, I don't know if it's just because I had a long week or I was tired, but I was putting this off for so long to watch these, whereas like I spaced out the first three a lot more evenly and was enjoying watching them. There was just something where I was like, I know exactly what I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be the same fucking thing over and over again. But 4 does add a lot of cool new dimensions to it. And like you said, you add in that sort of innocence angle with Corey Feldman as Tommy Jarvis. And it's something that they tried to go for in the previous 3 movies, but with usually the final girl, the female protagonist, who was usually like the pure girl, the one who didn't drink and smoke or have sex or any of that stuff. And so now you add that in, and they do kind of a cool subversion in this movie, because Tommy lives with his sister and his mom in this house, and then, like in the synopsis says, this group of teenagers rents the house across from them. And so you get this new group of friends, and in that group, there is one of those girls. There is that girl who is like the more shy, I don't want to say prude, that's not like the right word, but she is more kind of guarded. And you know, she has a moment in the film where she asked like the quote unquote promiscuous friend, not even asked, she kind of flat out calls her friend a slut in like, you know, nicer words. She's like kind of just calling her friend a slut. Like, I think she says something along the lines of like, yeah, but you do it with literally everybody. And she's like, I do it with this guy, and it's because I'm good at it. But it is a cool subversion, because like at the beginning when you meet that group of friends, you're like, oh, that's going to be our final girl of the movie. Or even like the sister character is kind of the more closed off character in the film. So you think like, oh, these are going to be the final girls. And it kind of flips that on its head. It's like, we're not going with a final girl this time. Tommy is kind of the hero of the movie, and he's the one who, in the finale of the film, oh guys, we didn't say it yet, but full spoilers for these movies like we do every episode. So spoilers if you haven't seen Friday the 13th, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to spoil the shit out of them. There's not really a lot you can spoil in these movies. It's a guy in a hockey mask killing a bunch of teenagers. So, but Tommy is the one who kind of defeats Jason in the end, with maybe even a bigger Hail Mary of an idea than Ginny had in Friday the 13th Part 2. Where Ginny thought, oh, you know, like I can pretend to be his mom and everything. In this one, Corey Feldman is like, yeah, I'm gonna like half-assedly shave my head and pretend to be Jason.
Yeah, why does he miss spots? That pisses me off, that he like has like long hair strays like in the back.
Can I just say, and at
Maybe
least
rushing.
the 6 of these movies, that even Jason doesn't look as disgusting as like a little bald Corey Feldman does. Oh my God, he looks like a little fucking freakazoid.
Did he put makeup on too?
Yeah, he did. He's grotesque to look at. We have not on top of Joseph Zito coming along, obviously after the success of his movie The Prowler, which I mentioned. You have a returning special effects artist, one Tom Savini, who returns to the franchise. He has not done any Friday the 13th film since the first movie, which I think the first one has some of the best kills, and I think that carries over into this one, as I think Friday the 13th, the final chapter, has easily some of the best kills in the franchise, easily some of the best effects work. All around, as a production, this movie just looks, feels, and operates like a more professional movie than the last 3. The only thing, and it's such a weird nitpick, nerd, tech spec thing, I wish that they would have kept the 1:851 aspect ratio from Part 3, but in this one they were, 2:351. In the third one, it's 2:351, and then in this one, they return back to the widescreen 1:851 format, which the first 2 movies in the franchise do. And I think we'll go on for the rest of the franchise back to that full screen format. There's just something about those fucking black bars that just make it look a little bit more cinematic. And I think for the third one, they might have only did it to add to the 3D effects. But I wish that they had just kept that for the fourth one. I think it would have just been that little cherry on top.
I'm looking at a comparison because, like, I'll be honest, I didn't really like note, like, I wasn't even looking at that, so it didn't really. I don't know. I guess it didn't take me out as much as it did you.
Josh isn't as much of a dork as I am.
No, not quite. No.
It's a little thing. It literally does not hurt my score at all. It's not like I'm taking any points off. But in terms of like the visual aesthetic of the movie, I kind of just wish that they had kept that really cinematic aspect ratio that most movies use. Like most films use the 2:3:5:1 aspect ratio. There's just something inherently cinematic about the black bars on the top and bottom of the screen. I don't know why, but
that you don't like for this, right?
no, I do.
Oh, I thought you were saying they had the black bars in 4.
No, the only film in the franchise to have it outside. Maybe the remake has it. I'm not sure. Well, I haven't seen that movie in so fucking long. But yeah, part 3 is the only one that does that. The black bars on the top and bottom, whereas 4 goes back to that kind of full screen aspect ratio. And again, some of the lighting choices in the film look nice. Again, I mentioned some of the camera work has improved over the last 3 movies. There's actually, I feel like I noted down some decent shots towards the beginning of the film. Yeah, my second note was, okay, yeah, we got a nice tracking shot through the finale setting of the last movie. That was kind of like what I was talking about with the film's opening, where after that compilation, talking about the last 3 movies, you get put back into the farm setting of the third movie, and it starts off with a tracking shot, kind of moving through. You got some extras working around the scene, moving different bodies, wheeling different things out, different paramedics and EMTs and stuff, and then you kind of land on Jason in the bar, which is pretty cool. Again, it just felt like they put a lot more effort into this movie, and I don't know if that's just an effort thing or if, again, just Joseph Zito is just a better director than, say, Sean S. Cunningham or Steve Miner. But either way. So, yeah, I want to get into some of the characters in this movie. One thing that pisses me off about this fucking franchise, they reuse names multiple times. So in this film, you have these twin sisters who meet up with the group of friends, the new group of friends. They're these like local twin girls, Tina and Terry. Fun fact, one of them had auditioned for one of the roles in 3, but was put off and refused to do the role because of the nudity. So she went out for the 4th one, and they were like, yeah, there's no nudity for this character. She got the role, and then they were like, oh, by the way, here's the script, and it had her character doing nude scenes. And she was like, well, and then they found out that she has a twin sister. And that's where you get the Tina and Terry inclusion. And apparently the sister who she brought onto the film was always the more outgoing one of the two and had absolutely no problem taking off her clothes. And to which the initial actress, the one who had declined the role in the 3rd film, she said that it was her sister being on set with her and her sister being so open-minded and carefree about it and professional about it that gave her the courage to take her clothes off too, specifically in the skinny dipping scene at the lake, where you see all of the characters naked. The girls take their clothes off. You get your first male nudity in the franchise. You get to see a little bit of boy
Finally.
butt. You don't get to see George McFly's butt, but you do see his friend's butt, Teddy Bear. And I gotta ask you, how do you feel about Crispin Glover, aka what's his name in this movie?
It's Jimmy.
Jimmy. I literally in my notes I just kept calling him George McFly every single fucking time, to the point where I was watching this, and
I'm gonna call him McFly. I'm gonna call him McFly as we talk about this.
Well, I was watching this and I was like, I wonder if Robert Zemeckis watched this movie and said, yeah, that is perhaps one of the dorkiest people I have ever seen in a movie. And that's when he decided to cast him as George McFly. Because this came out 1 year before Back to the Future did. So, I don't know.
Man, what a break.
It wasn't really a break. I mean, I feel like Crispin Glover didn't really go on to have, like...
Well, what an opportunity for a break, I guess.
That's probably because he sued the fuck out of the studio. And, like... Honestly, for good reason, though. Like, you ever hear what they did to him in Back to the Future 2?
No.
Oh, so do you know that Crispin Glover is not in Back to the Future 2?
I guess I didn't, no, I don't remember.
But George McFly is, and it looks like Crispin Glover.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Crispin Glover is not in Back to the Future 2, partially because he disagreed with the message of the first movie. He didn't like how that movie ended. He felt like it was telling kids that you need nice clothes and a nice truck and your parents need to have a lot of money for you to be happy. And he didn't think that that was a good, strong message to be sending out to children. So he refused to be in part 2. However, they wanted the character back. And so what they did was they made a mold of his face without his permission, put it on a different actor. And Crispin Glover was like, absolutely not, and sued the fuck out of them. And that lawsuit became such a prominent thing in the entertainment industry that to this day, you are not allowed to make a mold of an actor's face and use it in a later film without their permission.
How did I not know this? Mm-hmm. I guess I didn't think anything of it. Like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't remember even seeing that horrendous face. Oh my God, that was horrible to look at.
Yep. I always thought there was something off about Back to the Future 2 with his character, because if you watch that movie too, you'll notice his character almost has no speaking lines. He's like such a huge character in the first movie, but in the second one,
Wow.
he has barely any speaking lines, and it's just so funny. But so I brought his character up because he has a fun kind of dynamic with his friend Teddy. And when you first meet these characters, they're driving up to this house for the first time, and Teddy is in the backseat with Jimmy, who is George McFly, and I think he just got out of a breakup or something, or was recently dumped or something, and he's wondering why. He has no idea why, and his friend, Teddy, quote-unquote friend, proceeds to tell him that it's probably because he is bad at sex, to which in the film they refer to him as a dead fuck, meaning he just lies there and just, he's not good at sex, apparently, which I think is funny. And to which later in the film, our boy George McFly, he gets some sex. He ends up having sex with one of the twins. And the only reason that the one twin has sex with him is pretty much because the guy that she wanted to fuck, who clearly has a girlfriend, the quote-unquote promiscuous friend of the group, he goes off to find her because she's mad that he was, like, I think dancing or something with one of the twins. Either way, she wants to sleep with him. And when he exits the building, she's like, next best thing, and goes over to George McFly and proceeds to have sex with him. And once they're done fucking, he asks her if he's a dead fuck.
Does she even know what that, like, is she supposed to know what that means?
She's confused by it. She's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then to which George McFly proves that he should not have been gifted any sex, because he steals her panties and then goes downstairs and gives them to his friend Teddy, which is all sorts of weird, but not as weird as his dance that he does.
I fucking love it. Dude, that's my favorite part in the whole series. My favorite part in the whole series. My God, he fucking... I mean, like, could you expect anything else? When no one was expecting him to just belt out those chaotic, like...
And, well, so apparently, I don't know if you read this, that was all Crispin Glover. That was not any direction. That was not any pre-planned, hey, this is what we want you to dance like. That was all just how he would dance. Self-proclaimed, this is how he would actually go to nightclubs and dance clubs, and this is how he would actually dance in real life, in front of real people, not for a movie, not playing a character. That is just how Crispin Glover dances.
Dude, it's great. What do you mean? Like, he moves great.
It looks like he simultaneously is having a seizure, but also the worst diarrhea of his life. Like, he is flailing around, punching the air, and oh God, I wish I looked it up. I think so. They obviously dub a song in the movie in post production, and if any of you guys aren't into like filmmaking and you don't understand how like films are made when it comes to certain stuff like that, 9 out of 10 times there is not there's not actual music on set, or there is, and it's a different song, and then later on they have to add in a different song. And I guess I think it was an AC/DC song that they were actually playing on set, and that's what Crispin Glover was actually dancing to. And then later on, like most movies, they put in a different track, one that probably costs a lot less to license than an AC/DC track in the 80s. But yeah, I read that fact and I was like, well, that adds a lot more sense. But he does put on like a heavier song though, like. To which I did note in when I was watching it, I was like, I actually liked his song better than whatever song the other guy put on. He put on like this slow, old-timey 50s song, and it was not a banger. It was not a banger. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, it was for the slow dancing. You wanted to. Yeah, well.
I hate that guy. I don't even remember that guy's name. He was such a important character in the movie, as if any of them are important. But he had such little screen time in the movie that I almost forgot his character was there. So when he like went out looking for his girlfriend, I guess, who had already been killed in a pretty cool kill in like a life raft on the lake, which that water had to be like 20 degrees. Like that. Why are you swimming in that water at that hour? It is probably so fucking cold.
No, it's summertime.
The water's still cold.
It's probably not that cold. What do you mean?
At night? You go skinny dip in a fucking lake at night. You tell me how you know.
Wait, was his name Rob?
Maybe.
Was it Rob?
Probably.
Or no, it might have been Doug. I don't know. No, who was Rob in this movie? I'm looking at the top billed cast, and Rob.
It's got to be him.
Rob.
Oh wait, is Rob the guy who is hunting Jason? The one who like Tommy and his sister run across, and he's like camping, and he says he's hunting bear.
Oh,
but then
maybe
comes out that he gets hacked to death, which we got to talk about because we are running a little late talking about just this movie.
Yeah.
The kills. We already mentioned some of the best kills in the franchise. So I want to ask you, because to me, out of the 6 movies that we've watched so far, this film has the best kill out of all of them. A couple of the best kills, but my number one so far. And I'm curious if you have a favorite kill in this movie, because I want to see if it's the same as mine.
I'm pulling up the list right now because I should have noted my top 3 kills because let me think real quick.
It's honestly not a fault of Josh for forgetting some of the kills, because when you get to the later movies in this franchise, a lot of the kills start to get a little repetitive. You got like 15 different kills where it's Jason just sticking the machete through them from behind, or an arrow from behind. A lot of kills. Some are just like an axe to the head or a machete to the head. So they start to get a little bit, they blur in your mind, needless to say.
There we go. I'm gonna note. Well, no, you know what? I'm between 2. Initially, I was thinking the one of the opening kills, the nurse, when he twists his head. I love that kill.
Great kill.
Dude, I love the kill for Jason.
That's mine.
Like that's like in my head, I'm thinking of only kills that Jason does, but then I gotta remember I gotta count the ones to Jason. But yeah, the machete to the head and then the slide down, like it's probably the best.
Dude, not only is the effect maybe the best effect that we've seen out of any of these movies so far, you get this like slow wide shot of fucking the head of Jason just sliding down the machete. It's so fucking gruesome and disgustingly beautiful. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, Tom Savini is on his fucking game in this one. Like, I think way more than the first one. Like, I don't know. I'm getting so much more from him, I feel like, in this movie. And that kill and I think the head turn, you get like a really good effect.
Keep in mind, the original film had $500,000 and this movie had $3.3 million. And I guarantee it's not because they were paying any of the actors any more money. So like, I definitely think that a lot of the money went towards the practical effects. You have one kill that I'm like, I don't know how they got it. I got to look into it. When he throws one of the twin sisters out the window onto the car, it doesn't look like a body double. It does not look like a dummy. It looks like the actress just hitting the roof of a car after being thrown out of a window. I don't know how they did it in the 80s. Like, I don't know how it looked so fucking good and like realistic. It was so impressive. God, I fucking love Tom Savini.
I think that was Lauren's favorite kill in the movie, only because like that scared her the most. Like, she was not expecting the like jump through the window and like throw her out.
It's not only a good creative kill. Like I said, a lot of the kills start to get a little repetitive, where you get just a lot of stabbings or slashings, and I get it, they're slashers, but the most fun you have in these movies is when you get like a really fun, cool, creative kill, or just like a really great effect. And that's what was kind of missing for me from the one kill that you liked in one of the previous movies, where it's the guys doing the handstand and you get like the machete to his dick. To me, the only issue with that is you don't really get to see it. It is a cool kill, but I wish that you got like a cool effect. to which I think it's this one. I'm pretty sure it is, but you get another crazy dick kill.
Wait, that was the third one, right? That was the handstand. Okay, I didn't know if you
Yes,
said the
I was
second
saying
one.
that was my issue with that kill is you didn't really get a good effect, and it wasn't all that creative. It was brutal. Like, don't get me
Because
wrong.
our favorite in the second one was the wheelchair, right? That was our favorite.
The wheelchair one was, I think the best one in the second movie. I'm trying to look for my kills. I have them all ranked. Where is it? Oh, fuck.
I even like the nurse kill when he like. I wish it held on a little longer when he just like. It might be a scalpel. I don't know, but he like slides it up her like sternum.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot, but I just wish you saw a little bit more.
That was up there. That was one of my favorite kills of the movie. I found it. It's literally in my top 5 kills right now. It is the guy Paul. So that Paul is the guy who is sleeping with the. That's who it is. That's who you thought Rob was for a second. It's Paul is his name. And the only reason I remember it because it's one of my favorite kills is he gets a harpoon shoved through his dick and hoisted up in the fucking air by Jason.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That is so fucking gruesome and brutal. Oh my god, I fucking adored it. Oh my god. Yeah, so fucking good.
So this one has a lot where you can like. I feel like this movie might have the most where if someone told me a kill, I wouldn't like fault them for that being their favorite kill. Like there's so many to choose from, and they're all like. It feels like they're all like in a similar tier.
They're all great. There's so many great effects, dude. Even fucking George McFly when he gets a corkscrew through the hand, and then I think it's like a meat cleaver. Jason just takes like a fucking meat cleaver to his head, and it's almost like a better version of the axe to the head from the first movie. Kevin Bacon's girlfriend in that one. It's like a better, more prominent version of that, and that's what I
wish
think
it was
Tom
a little
Savini.
Longer.
Yeah, I know. I wish that is my biggest criticism of most of the kills in this franchise is I wish that it just lingered a little bit longer, and that's because none of these movies are edited well.
But like, I'll be honest, McFly's kill cracks me up. It cracks me up because like, dude, it's how quick it is. The way his head is shaking and his mouth is like open, but it's like all silent.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear him screaming. You just see his like face like doing a scream and his head is like shaking. It's so fast. Like I almost feel like they sped up the footage.
It's
I
always
crack
nice.
up every time.
It's always nice too when it's like a character is being annoying right before they get killed. And I find Crispin Glover to have a very annoying voice. And so like in this movie, right before he dies, he's like, Teddy, where's the corkscrew? Teddy, the corkscrew. And then he gets the fucking corkscrew through the hand and then a meat cleaver to the fucking head. Fuck you, George McFly. Crispin Glover, you seem like a nice guy. I'm glad that you stood up for yourself, and I'm glad that you stood up for actors as a whole. I really enjoyed that.
Let me tell you something I do like.
Yeah, what's up?
In terms of like mood, I'll say a couple things. I love the not so much the kill. I mean, I do like the kill because I like you get a nice like jump scare when he jumps out of the lake on the raft that she's on.
Yeah.
I love that whole scene. I think the lake looks so good. Like
it's very atmospheric.
They are working that fog machine. They are fucking like really laying it on thick. But you know what? I love it. I think it looks good.
It's so good too, and it's so like quiet, and you just get like the rural sound effects and the foley of like bugs and crickets in the background and like a little bit of wind. And again, it's just like there's just so much in this movie to where I'm not gonna say it's anywhere close to a movie like Halloween or Black Christmas or Texas Chainsaw Massacre in terms of like building and creating that atmosphere and suspense. But I definitely think in comparison to those first 3 movies that this is the one where it's like, oh, this one feels inspired by those great slashers. Like genuinely in turn, not just like, oh, we're going to get a killer and kill a bunch of sexy horned up teens. This one, it was like, we want to take the actual filmmaking elements from those movies and try to carry those over. Not to anywhere near the same degree of professionalism, but still, it was really nice to see. It was a nice change of pace.
Yeah. And we mentioned briefly like the shadows a little bit, but just like hiding Jason a little bit more, covering like his face partially. This is my favorite Jason. Also in like, also in like physical performance, but like it also helps how he was directed and like framed and stuff like that. But the scene where the mom gets a glass of water, I love. I think it's very creepy. It's like almost completely black. It's like I like that you just get like just very like sparse shines of light to like light up the scene enough, but so much of her like goes into like blackness and like I don't know. Yeah. It's really nice when Jason comes in. He's like walking towards her. He almost gets like completely blacked out for a second and then like comes back into light. Just really nice like shadow work. I think that they
were it's like, literally one of my final notes in the film was like, just flat out, I wrote I really like some of the lighting choices in this movie, and I think it's because in part 2 and part 3, obviously you don't have Jason in the first film, but in 2 and 3 it almost seems like every time you're seeing Jason, he's almost like overly lit, or he's in like a setting where there's too much lighting going on, and so it kind of like diminishes any creep factor or scariness from him. But in this one, like towards the end, like when you get into that kind of final confrontation with is it Trish? Trish is the sister, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Tommy's sister, Trish. She is kind of like running away and kind of having that chase scene with Jason before Tommy arrives, and like as she's running through the house and is trying to hide, you get some like really nice atmospheric, darkly lit, very heavy usage of shadows. To where it's like, oh, there's some scenes in this where Jason actually looks a little scary. He's not just like a maniac going around killing people. There's actually some creepiness to it, some suspense building. And again, it just goes back to, I think, Joseph Zito understanding the assignment a lot better than the previous directors had. It's just a step up, in my opinion. I don't even think any of the performances are great in this movie, but I think a lot of them are a noticeable step up from some of the previous movies to where you're not taken out as much. And I'm not going to say that this gives this movie any actual points, but in terms of Friday the 13th points, don't want to be too juvenile. A lot of boobies and butts in this movie. So I'm
giving points for the man ass we get too. Like we finally get some man booty in this. It's not just, you know. Do
not think this is a sexist thing, listeners. This is not just about seeing titties. I said boobies and butts, and that includes the men butts. Now, if these films would grow a pair and show some dong, you know, hang a little dick out there, then who knows? This might be the perfect Friday the 13th movie. But we don't really get to see any wiener, so, you know, you lose a couple points there. But, you know. Yeah, man, I love too that, you know, you get a little bit of crossover with some of the previous movies. Not only does this film take place immediately after the events of the last film, and you kind of start on that location, which is really cool. But I also love too. I wasn't sure if you knew this, but Rob, the guy who's hunting Jason, he's doing so because his sister was one of the counselors killed in the second film.
Do they say that?
Yeah.
Missed it.
I don't blame you. I kind of tune out during a lot of the dialogue during these movies.
But I told Jake, not only, well, so far this is the best Friday the 13th, because I'm not giving any spoilers here, but this is the coziest one, and mostly because of like how dim it feels, but like it also feels very focused and sectioned off to like smaller areas, I guess. Like I don't know, I just really appreciate that. You feel like you're like, I think it helps like the group where you're with, the teenagers. I just like enjoy like they're funny too. Like at least I think Teddy's funny. He makes me laugh.
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up if you had read anything about that actor. So later on in the film, but obviously before a lot of the characters start getting killed off, kind of right before that, Teddy is trying to make moves on one of the twins. It's really not going well, and he somehow finds in the house this old-timey porno video that he's putting on. And he puts it on, and he's watching it. He's cackling. The one twin that he's trying to sleep with is clearly not enjoying watching this flick. And then he's still cackling, laughing his ass off like a schoolboy.
Dude, he's laughing so long at it.
Then I
can't imagine it's that funny.
Well, so here it is. Apparently, that actor had never smoked pot in his life before, had never done drugs, but wanted it to be authentic for that scene. So he got high before they started filming that scene, and he got so fucking paranoid because of the weed, because it was his first time smoking. And all I could think of was like the first time that I smoked weed in college, and like I would like just kept saying to myself, nothing's happening, I'm fine, I don't feel anything, as I'm like trying to fight a tree. And imagine the first time you ever smoke weed and you got a bunch of cameras pointed at you and you have to like deliver dialogue and act. I can't even imagine the mental nightmare that guy was under during the filming of that.
I'm surprised he was laughing. I'm surprised he was laughing that much.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he was able to.
I think you get a little bit more of the paranoia stuff and like him being very quiet a little bit later on, like once everybody goes off to have sex and stuff and he's kind of left alone and he just like continues watching the porno. Like when
I want to watch it again now.
Yeah, like when you can even tell his eyes are a little red and a little watery, a little glassy. It's kind of fun watching that in hindsight. But yeah, so I don't know what much else I really have to say. We still do have 2 more movies to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we could dwell on like a lot of specifics. We kind of covered mostly everything. We even covered like Jason's death and like how much we like that. But
of course,
I'm ready to move on. We can always.
I'm ready. The only issue I have with the ending is after Jason is dead, or you think he's dead, he moves again, like he slightly moves, and Tommy grabs the machete and just starts wailing him and yelling, "Die, die, die." And remember that specific dialogue because they will replay that dialogue in the next 2 movies a couple of times. The only issue I have with that, I'm fine with him doing that. I do not like the sister being like, "No, Tommy, stop, no." That's Jason Voorhees, mass murderer. Honestly, you should dismember him, if anything. Like, cut him limb from limb. But I wanted to say, too, in regards to the Jason death, because, like, some people might be like, oh, well, why didn't you talk about Jason's kill in the last movie? And I think it's because this is, I guess, the only time in the franchise, I guess until, like, way down the line later on, when Jason actually dies. Like, going off the canonical events of 5 and 6, which we'll talk about in a second, this is actually Jason dying. Like, the character of Jason is dead by the end of this film. So I kind of like that. It's tough because I'm going to talk, I mean, more so 6. I do enjoy the next 2 movies on just like an enjoyment level. 6 definitely more than 5. But imagine the world we'd live in if Friday the 13th was just the first 4 movies. And it's just that little storyline that carries through 1 through 4. It feels like very, I guess more so 2 through 4 because 1 is kind of its own entity and it doesn't really make sense in context with the rest of the franchise. Like if Jason drowned in the first movie or before the events of the first film and the mother is seeking revenge, how is he alive in the second one? And I don't think they ever go on to explain that, except 30 years down the line when the creators of Friday the 13th tried to say that Jason was a Deadite from Evil Dead, which makes no fucking sense because Friday the 13th came out before Evil Dead, but whatever.
I forget which one they say it in. It might be this one or the next one. It might be the next one that they say that his body was never recovered. I guess that's their way of like saying that he didn't really die.
Okay, so what was he doing? What was he doing all those years? Because
he was training.
When does the first film start? In the 50s, right?
Yeah. It's like 20 years later.
Just hanging out in the woods for 20 years? Letting his mom go around killing people in his honor?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, cool. Love it. Awesome. But yeah, so this is the only one where Jason actually dies, and that's why it actually counts as a kill. Some of the kill counts, though, when you go online, they count kills that happen in dream sequences as actual kills in the movie. I don't think if it's in a dream sequence that it should count. I don't know. That's just me. But
yeah, I mean, that's tough because I guess it's like you're still getting to witness a kill and they're still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
no, I think we're kind of in agreement on a lot of the elements. It's improved direction, cinematography, pacing. The kills are great. The effects are the best they've been out of all 4 of these movies that we've seen so far. The characters are a little bit more likable, and I don't know if I'm not in love. I'm not saying you're in love with these characters. I think you like them a little more than I do.
I do.
They're serviceable. They're fine. To me, there's not a lot of distinction between them and the characters from the previous ones. Like, they're just horny teenagers. I like the Jarvis family, actually, probably the most out of all the characters. I like the Jarvis family. And
I like the mom. I like the mom a lot.
Yeah. No, I like the mom. I even like that guy, Rob. Like, we didn't bring it up, but I kind of like that little scene where they bring him home because he helped fix their car. And then Tommy's like really excited to have a friend, so he like brings him upstairs and shows him all of his masks that he makes. He like makes
Don't know how he makes them.
Huh?
Don't know how he makes them.
They are the most realistic
Yeah.
Those masks would go for hundreds of dollars each one.
Yeah.
They are like the most. He has one that he can control the way its eyes move through like a puppeteer kind of way. It's like fucking. This kid's like 12 and he's making these ridiculous masks.
No, but yeah, I didn't really talk about it, but I do like the mom and sister a lot. Not that you get like that much, but I like that you just get a little like difference of like you still get the horny teenagers, but you get like this very like close knit innocent family that just like feels like very like they're very likable. So like I'm counting them in the characters.
They're very likable, but they're not like snooty. They're
Right.
kind of pure and innocent, but they're not snooty.
Like I felt sad when the mom died a little bit.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. You feel bad when the mom dies, and also like again, like when it comes to like the horny teenagers, like it would have been so easy, and we'll see in the next film when characters are like when they hate the horny teenagers a lot. You know, we'll get that a little bit in part 5. But when it comes to this one, it's like they know that they're a bunch of just like shithead college teenagers that are just there to like fuck and drink and smoke, and they're never like, oh, what a bunch of. I will say there is one line though when they're in the car, and I had to look up what this word means because I'd never heard it before. It's when Tommy and Trish are leaving from the lake after seeing the kids skinny dipping, and Tommy says, what does he say? What a pack of patootsies, he calls them. And I'd never heard the term patootsies, to which I looked up and it means butt. So he called them a bunch of butts, which is exactly what a 12-year-old would say. Unless it's sleepaway camp, in which they use every curse word known to mankind. But
it's mostly Teddy and McFly that I like. I don't know. I'm just
like
partial
Teddy
to
that much.
Oh, I do.
I just think he's kind of annoying.
Dude, just like honestly, his smile just makes me laugh. I don't know what it is. He just makes me laugh. His face kind of makes me laugh.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got anything else to say, or should we move on?
Oh wait, real quick, the shower scene. The more innocent girl's boyfriend, that kill when he gets his face like smashed in the wall.
Yeah.
Great effect too, but yeah, that's
a good
quick
one.
Note there.
I liked that a little bit more. As cool as like the overall impact of that kill is in the third film when Rick gets his head squeezed, the main girl's love interest. That one looked a little too fake, whereas this one, again, you got Tom Savini, so it looks a little bit more realistic. The kill seems a little more gruesome because it looks more authentic, I guess. But yeah, I did enjoy that.
Do we do the Friday the 13th ratings each one or at the end?
Yeah, let's do them individually. I guess I think that's what we did for the first episode. I think so. If not, then whatever. But I've been meaning to talk to you about that in general. Like, if in general, moving forward in this podcast, if we should just start doing the ratings after the movie we talk about instead of doing them all at the end.
Do you want to?
I think we should. I think it'll flow a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
All right.
I can start with this one. Yeah.
Cool.
So, Friday the 13th, final chapter. Nudity gets a 3 out of 3. Love that you get a little integration with some man butts, but, you know, get a lot of quantity and some good quality, too, in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Kills, 3 out of 3. Just my favorite so far in the series. And entertainment is an easy 4 out of 4. This is a 10 out of 10 Friday the 13th movie for me as a Friday the 13th movie.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
You just can't ignore it.
Love it. I love it. What's your actual rating for it?
Oh, shit. We're doing those ratings, too. I am giving this a 5.4 out of 10.
5.4 out of 10. I like it. I like it a lot. It's nice.
Thank you.
I'm going to give... We'll start off, I guess. I'll do it the same way. So Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter, because it's the last one, gets a 3 out of 3 on kills. I think we did a good job highlighting how awesome the kills and effects are in this movie. Nudity, like Josh said, you get the quantity, you get the quality. 3 out of 3. And I'm a little slightly lower on entertainment, but I'm giving it a 3 out of 4 on the entertainment scale. I think the pacing could be a little bit quicker and it could be a little bit more fun. So it's getting a 3 out of 4. So a Friday score of 9 out of 10, which is gonna be a tough one to beat. And as an actual movie, my actual score, I gave credit where credit was due, at least in my opinion, to the first Friday the 13th movie. A lot of that was just influence and cultural impact on the genre. Sure, it has some flaws as a movie, but I do think there are some decent kind of atmospheric parts of that movie. Josh doesn't agree. But this one I think is better in all of those regards. So I'm going to give it a 6.1 out of 10. I would put it on before the first one any day of the week, partially because I think it's a better movie, and in a large part due to because I think it's a better Friday the 13th movie. So that's where I'm going to land. But yeah, we will move on to Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, in just a moment after a quick commercial break. All right, guys, thank you for holding during that quick commercial break. As I'll state every episode, maybe if you're listening on YouTube, there was an actual break there. But if not, it was a nice little segue. But we are moving on to Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, as I guess the final chapter turned out not to be the final chapter. And they didn't even wait that long. This movie literally came out in 1985, 1 year after the release of the previous film. It is directed not by Joe Zito, unfortunately, but instead director Danny Steinman, who we will discuss. We will talk about him. A budget of $2.2 million, so around $1 million less than the previous one, and a much smaller box office of 21.9 mil, and a Rotten Tomato score of 17%. Yeah. And again, guys, full fucking spoilers, because we have to get the elephant out of the room when it comes to this movie. Actually, you know what? I'll read the synopsis first, and then we'll get the elephant out of the fucking room. That big, giant, hulking elephant. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. All right. Still haunted by his past, Tommy Jarvis, who, as a child, killed Jason Voorhees, is sent to a secluded halfway house in the countryside where the killing of a young man triggers a brutal series of murders in the area. So, the big elephant. Jason's not in this movie.
Yeah.
This is the not nearly anywhere near as good, but this is the Halloween 3 of the Friday the 13th series. As Halloween 3, spoilers for that, it's not even a spoiler, but Halloween 3 in that universe was meant as a departure point. They were trying to move away from Michael Myers and go back to what John Carpenter had originally wanted for the Halloween movies, which was it to be an anthology series in which a different story would follow different characters on Halloween night for each film. They obviously pushed back against that because we do get Halloween 1 and 2, which both have Michael Myers, but then with 3, they tried to go away with that. People didn't really like it. They brought him back. So they do another, kind of similar thing with Friday the 13th, as for all intents and purposes, Jason Voorhees is still dead throughout the entire runtime of this film. What is instead given to us is at the beginning of the film, as the synopsis mentions, you're at a halfway house, which is for teenagers who have mental health problems, and they kind of vary in range. You get certain characters who are clearly a little bit more mentally unhealthy, and then you get characters who are just a little bit more, or they've had a traumatic past, and that's kind of sculpted them. That's kind of where Tommy Jarvis is at the beginning of this film. Not played by Corey Feldman, outside of the original opening nightmare sequence in which a young Tommy, walking through the rain, stumbles upon two men digging up Jason's grave, and Jason is still alive and kills both of those men. And then Tommy wakes up. Now he is played by actor John Shepherd, not Corey Feldman, who at the time was working on the Goonies, and that's why he didn't return. So probably a good career move on his part.
On paper, this feels like the Halloween 3, but it's still like where Halloween 3 is better is that it just commits to the idea of just going its own path. This like tries to do that, but it still keeps it's like half-assed. I don't know.
So, and what Josh is referencing, and we'll get it out of the way so we can just kind of discuss the other elements of the film. I definitely want to talk about the behind the scenes a little bit more on this one than the last one, which is good because I have way less to say about this movie in terms of my actual like feelings and opinions on it. But going back to the plot, So you have this halfway house that is run by these two people, this guy and this girl. I forget the guy's name. The woman is named Pam, and they run this halfway house. And like I said, it's full of mentally unstable people or people who have mental health issues. And the goal is to try to rehabilitate them and get them prepped to rejoin society and go on living their lives. And in the first 5 to 10 minutes, you get one of maybe the most offensive portrayals of somebody with mental health issues in the character of Joey, who is, without being rude, a larger fella, a little bit on the heavier side.
It's chunky.
Yeah, a little chunky. But they didn't think that was enough, and they decided to have him walking around holding a chocolate bar with chocolate all over his hands and chocolate all over his face.
Dude,
and he goes
he's also stacked. The man's packing. You see pieces of chocolate bars in each pocket. There's like one in like his chest pocket. They're all sticking out, so he's loaded.
Well, I love too, going off of that, he approaches two of the female characters. I think one's name is Robin, and I forget the other one. They're doing laundry, and he wants to help them with laundry. And he's like, yeah, the guy never gives me laundry duty. And they're like, just go away. We have to get this done. And so with his chocolate caked hands, he picks up like the whitest sheet possible and gets chocolate all over it, to which, of course, they yell at him. It's not the guy's fault. He clearly needs more help, and he should not be at this halfway house. Either way, the girls tell him to fuck off after he does offer them half of his candy bar, to which Josh pointed out he is loaded with candy bars, so he could have had half. He even says to the girls, like, you can have half. Fun fact about this chocolate bar, he has already taken a bite out of it, offers them half, and says, but you have to save the other half for me. There's not even a full candy bar, Joey. So then Joey proceeds to walk over to Vic, who is the most angry I have ever seen someone whilst chopping wood. He's not even chopping wood. He's just wailing an axe into a big stump. He's not trying to like chop up pieces of wood so that they be used for like fire. He's just wailing on a piece of wood.
I think he's working out. I really think he's just working out.
He's pretty shredded.
He's so sweaty. He's so sweaty.
He's very sweaty. He's very dirty. Not as dirty as some other characters we'll meet in the movie, but he is chopping the wood, or chopping at a piece of wood, and Joey approaches him, to which Joey very graciously says, hey, why don't you let me help you chop the wood? I'll even give you a whole candy bar. Just don't tell the girls that I have an extra candy bar, all right? And we need to keep that on the DL. And keeps pestering Vic, and Vic's response is to massacre Joey. Absolutely.
Well, no, he does say leave me alone. He does tell Joey leave me alone.
You're right, Josh. You're right, Josh. He was in the right for chopping up Joey. Yeah.
And then Joey,
I'm with you.
Well, listen, we can't summarize this part because this part cracks me up so much. Joey gets fucking pissed. He offers him that candy bar after he screams leave me alone. He says, here, Vic, I'll leave it for you for later. He puts it in the spot that he's chopping, and then Vic just chops the candy bar in half, and Joey loses it. He just looks at him so furious, and he's just like, well, if that's the way you feel, then forget it, Vic. Just forget it. And then this is what pisses Vic off. When Joey tells him, I think you're really out of line. And then Vic just chops into his fucking head in the back.
He just absolutely massacres Joey. I gotta ask you though, because you brought it up how like offended Joey is by him smashing the candy bar with the axe. Who do you think is more offended, Joey when a candy bar gets smashed in front of him, or Bella Swan if you mention her birthday to her?
It's still gonna be Joey. I mean, those eyes he gave Vic, he was mortified.
The way he says, I think you're out of line. Really out of line. That is like the way like a parent would talk to a child who's like done something bad. It's so funny coming from Joey.
It's gotta be top tier, probably the number one most like the biggest overreaction I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, probably.
Imagine anyone just reacting like that. He was fine.
Wait,
he was
Vic
like kind of fine with
Vic
them.
or Joey?
Oh, Vic.
Oh. Yeah, so Joey's dead. Everybody's horrified. The ambulances come. The EMTs come to pick him up. And I don't think I caught this on my first viewing, but they very heavily focus on one of the EMTs, Roy. He has a very odd reaction to seeing Joey chopped up. And when they lift up, I don't know why they lift up the sheet in front of all the other kids.
I have a note that this is the most like irresponsible paramedic I've ever seen in my life. Like the guy's just blowing bubble yum in their face and he's calling them a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, a fucking kid
I
died.
didn't catch it. So like apparently this was like a very like easy spot for a lot of people. When I was like watching people review this, they were like, it's very obvious that this guy is like the guy. And I'm like, I mean, I get that they lingered on him, but like I didn't think it, like, for me at least, maybe I just didn't catch it.
I don't know. So it's not even fair to like criticize me and you for that, because the first time we watched it, we were probably very young. I know I wasn't super attentive to details when I was like, and like in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, Jason has come back to life literally in like the last 3 fucking movies, and he should be dead to begin with based off the first movie. So him being alive again. But yeah, they do linger on the EMT Roy quite a bit, and he has like a very odd reaction to it. And so obviously we already said spoilers, but the big elephant in the room is that Jason is not in this movie, and the preceding murders that happen in the rest of the film are committed by Roy, the EMT. To which at the end of the film, once Roy is defeated, you find out that Roy was Joey's father, and he ran off when Joey was young, and Joey was kind of put into the foster program and bounced around, and then that's what ended up, with him being in the halfway house. So on paper, the idea of a copycat killer, it isn't the worst thing.
No, I don't mind it. I like the attempt to do something different and new. I think it keeps it a little interesting. I just have a question. So because they talk about Joey's father, like his mom died giving birth, and Joey's father was just like, some guy that just like ran off, never like seen before. Is this the first time he's seeing Joey?
So like, I had a question.
What are we supposed to believe their relationship is? It's enough for him to go on this killing spree and take revenge, but he was never part of his life. It just seems like I don't know. They did that little like line of.
With Roy being the EMT, my assumption has always been he stayed out of Joey's life. He kept his distance, but he always kept tabs on him, so he knew he was at this halfway house. Even to the point where when you see Roy get out of the ambulance for the first time, when they arrive on the scene, he has this look on his face like he's worried that it might be his kid that got killed. So that is always what I took out of it. Now, again, I said that on paper, the idea of a copycat killer of Jason is not a bad idea. However, he still acts like Jason in this movie, despite being a normal human person. Jason has always operated like a deranged hillbilly massacre killer. He has never operated like a normal person would. But there are scenes in this movie where you're like, okay, well, that's a normal man. Why is he walking in a slow, methodical fashion like Jason would? Why, when a fucking bulldozer is coming at him, if that was really Jason, I'd be like, oh yeah, Jason wouldn't know to move out of the way. He's not that quick thinking. He would just get knocked out, which happens to Roy in this movie. He gets hit by the bulldozer, but he's a normal person. A normal fucking person would move out of the way when something is approaching them, right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem with this movie, is it's not a copycat killer. You have a killer or a person who is just in a dumb way acting like a person without a brain. It makes no fucking sense. And there were so many ways around this.
Well, I could tell you a way around that, why they did this, because at the end they do try to say that he mimicked Jason to cover his tracks, so he had to go full character into Jason. Not that anyone's keeping tabs on this. It's not like there's cameras watching his movements, but
and that includes almost like putting yourself at risk of dying by not moving out of the way of a fucking bulldozer.
Commitment. You know what my favorite thing is?
Yeah.
Okay, I first have a question before I ask this. What span of time is this from like 2 to now, is it only like a week? Is it like a week from 3 to now?
No.
Okay, because I saw someone say that in a review.
That can't make sense because Tommy's aged a couple of years. Has to be at least like 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So what the? Then maybe it was no. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, I didn't even think about. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Fun fact: out of the 6 movies that we've already watched, can you guess how many actually take place on Friday the 13th?
1.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them.
Yeah, it's 1 and 6.
But my favorite thing is that at the end they have all these little articles from the newspaper. When the hell did they get those pictures of Jason in the woods? Who the hell took those?
You know,
they have like all these shots of them that we saw in the movie. Like some like journalist just snuck in the woods, got a picture, and booked it.
it was, oh my gosh. Oh, it reminds me of in Jaws 4 with Brody's wife having memories and flashbacks to events that she was not present for.
Oh man,
but
that
no,
shit sucks.
What really bugs me too about this whole copycat killer and how they handled it was, it would make a lot more sense if it was just the kids, the teenagers, and the people in charge of the halfway house getting killed, because it was revenge, right? He was trying to get revenge.
Yeah.
But then he goes and kills just random people.
Yeah, why does he kill Demon?
He kills.
Why's Demon got to die?
He that's Spider from Return of the Living Dead.
Dude, I love that guy.
He's great, yeah.
He looks great. Have you seen him now? He looks amazing.
Really? I'll have to look him up. No, what bothers me about that scene is when he gets diarrhea from eating enchiladas, and he's having crazy diarrhea shits, and his girlfriend decides to come over to the outhouse and start singing to him. Who the fuck sings to their significant other while they're having diarrhea?
Oh,
Get the fuck away from me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Are you kidding me?
They're into music. They're in a band, I think. They do music.
That has nothing to do with her singing to him while he's having like diarrhea, evil fucking nightmare shits. Like
soothing, trying to calm him down.
It's even weirder when he starts singing back to her. At least put some effort into the sound design. We got to get some farts and some shit noises, some really disgusting things.
So I was disappointed that you didn't do one of his 2 quotes. I thought you were going to do that for the opening quote, but you chose the son, the hillbilly son. I would have taken.
It's the mom. I said I did the mom's
quote.
Yeah.
I would have taken those damn enchiladas, or I would have taken "You're Gonna Get It, Bitch."
Neither of those are anywhere as funny as what I opened with.
Dude,
calling her son a floppy dildo and telling him to come in and eat his slop.
I hate everything. I hate everything that every second that they're in it. I can't
Yeah.
Dude, it stresses me out when he's riding his motorcycle. I'm just like, please end this fucking scene. I'm like losing it right now. This is pissing me off right now. I don't know why. It just annoys me. It is funny, like his screaming. It's kind of like funny because it's so ridiculous. But dude, I don't know what the fuck is with this woman and her stew. She's obsessed. I don't get it. Like 5 minutes allocated to this movie is about her stew.
I think it's funny though, just how visually dirty the mother and son are. Like they are never not covered in dirt, like on their face, on their hands, their clothes.
How horrible do you think it smells in there?
Oh my god, it probably smells like a fucking mid-century like medieval brothel in there.
What smells worse?
Disgusting.
Their house or the house in Texas Chainsaw?
Texas Chainsaw. 1000% Texas Chainsaw.
It's a little sweatier there. It's a little sweatier there.
Did you ever read the actor who plays what's his name in that movie? Nubbins? The hitchhiker character.
I don't remember what his name is.
I forget his actual name. The actor who portrayed that character said that the filming of the dinner scene because of how bad it smelled, like actually on set, like they had rotting food on set, like real rotting food. He said that that was the worst experience of his life. Keep in mind that that actor was in Vietnam.
Okay, am I out of line here, or am I crazy for saying that? Was that his name? I really don't remember his name, but him, the hitchhiker in Texas.
Yeah.
Did he kind of look like James Franco, like an ugly James
Yes.
Franco?
I've thought that from the second I watched that movie the first time.
Okay, I always thought that ever since I saw it. Like, and I was like, is this weird to think? Does anyone?
When I
else
first
think
saw
this?
it, I had to look up to see if he was James Franco's dad. I'm not even joking. I've thought that since the second I watched it, and I still think that to this day.
Yeah,
Like 100%. We didn't move on to another one of the funniest parts of this movie is that seemingly in the last couple of years, Tommy Jarvis has turned into John fucking Wick, as he is like the most precise hand-to-hand combat fighter I have ever seen. The man fights with such precision and calculation, and
he's insane.
his takedown skills are like, the man should be just like in the UFC. Like
And he's shredded too.
crazy.
He is fucking shredded. He's got the most like intense six pack I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Can you guess how many words Tommy speaks in this movie?
11.
A little more than that. He has 24 words spoken in this film. Yeah,
He's weird.
24
He's
words.
fucking weird in this movie. It's I wish we got the transition from like 4 to 6. I buy into that Tommy a lot more. It's too much in this. I think it's too much.
The weird thing for me is, like, I agree that I like the Tommy that we get in 6 a little bit more than 5. I do, however, feel though that John Shepherd, the actor who plays Tommy in 5, looks more like a grown-up version of Tommy than the actor in 6. Like,
That's
the one in
fair.
6 looks nothing like kid Tommy, whereas this one, it's like he looks a little bit like this could be like the older version of the character.
I'd rather have him written differently than have him look a little bit little more like him. He's just like the whole movie. The whole movie. He's just doing this the whole time. He's just like
he's just
like,
got a blank face.
I don't know. It's just too much.
I don't know though. I don't love the guy's performance in 6. I think
he's. I'm saying in 5. I think he's horrible. Tommy.
No, but I'm saying you like the guy in 6 more. I'm not big on him, but it's more so I don't love particularly how they write him in 6. I don't think I love how they write him in this one either. I mean, he still makes his masks, which
I just
cool,
buy into him being grown up Tommy more than this grown up Tommy.
Yeah, that's fair. I wonder
just
how much
kind of
time passes between 5 and 6. Like
because he looks older. Like he looks a lot.
He does.
Older.
Yeah. Another Return of the Living Dead actor. The main guy, I guess, in Return of the Living Dead. It's hard to think about anything in that movie other than Linnea Quigley, though. Which leads us to another part of this film, and will lead me right into the kind of the behind the scenes about this director and that sort of stuff. But what did you think of the nudity in this movie?
You know what? It's on par with 4. I think it's great.
I don't think you get as much of it as 4.
No, but the quality.
But the quality is there.
The quality is. It might be the best in the series, at least so far. It is the best in the series so far.
Yeah.
Dude, it's and I mean I guess that you know a little bit more about the director with his background.
Yeah.
So
So the director of this film, it did not seem like was the right choice for this. And if you look up his background, he had work in porn and some, I forget how they described him when I was looking into this, but like trash movies, essentially. Like he'd make like very low brow exploitation type films on top of also just making actual porn. And if you talk to some of the actors and crew members of this film, they will say that essentially Friday the 13th Part 5, the filming process felt like they were just shooting a porno, which I think is funny when you find out facts like the main girl that you see, the main quality of nudity in this film is the one character. I forget her name. Why can't I remember it? I forget. I'm going to be juvenile. The girl with the really giant boobs in this movie. There's only one. The other two have, I'm not going to belittle their boobs. I'm not that guy. They're nice boobs. But the one girl has really giant boobs. She was actually a Playboy model, which is fun.
Wow.
In her past. Yeah, but before that, she had actually won a Texas Best Body contest at the age of 19 before starring in this movie. So that's a fun little fact. But the sex scene that you see of her in the movie is around 10 seconds long in the actual film. Supposedly, according to reports, the actual scene was 10 minutes long in the original cut. Now, if you ask the director, he said that he filmed very over-the-top sex scenes for the purpose of submitting it to the MPAA, hoping that they would focus on the nudity and not worry about the kills. So he was fine trimming back that nudity, but he wanted to keep in the good kills. But if you ask me, the kills in this movie, not that good. I was not a big fan of a majority of the kills in this film. A couple of them were off screen. A couple of them you just don't see the impact. You don't see there's no cool special effects when it comes to that. But
I think it has the most, doesn't it?
I thought it had like 19, but in that 19 that I looked up, they also included the two guys from the opening nightmare sequence of Tommy, and I'm not going to count that. If like you don't actually die in the context of the story. But even if there was a lot, does it really feel like there's a lot in comparison?
No.
When I'm comparing it to like 4 and 2, like 2, there was just so many rapid kills. It just felt like boom, boom, boom. Every 3-4 minutes, you were getting a new kill at that one section of the movie. Whereas in this one, they feel so spaced out. And my God, are the characters just not likable in this?
I feel bad because like this is when they got like really censored, I guess, because that's why they had to cut away from like the kills as soon as they happened. So you get a lot of like axe to stomach, but it like cuts as soon as before it like impales them.
Is that true? Like, did the MPAA cut down the violence in this movie too? Yeah, I didn't read that.
I thought that's where I read it started. That's why I thought they like cut a lot of the like. That's why you don't see a lot in well,
that makes no. What did they just like go back on their word then? Because I think 6 brings back like the cool kills and the cool effects. Now, granted, there is one kill in this movie that I really did like. It's when he shoves the road flare in the guy's mouth. I thought that was like a really cool kill in effect. It was pretty creative.
But it's short.
If you ask me.
It looks cool. It's short, but it looks cool. I love how it looks. I think the best kill though, I think, is the belt around the eyes. I would love that kill.
That's like a good one. Yeah, that's a solid one. Which character does that happen to again?
The guy that's with the Deborah Voorhees, whatever her name is.
Oh, yeah. That's fun too. Yeah, the girl with the giant boobs, her real life name is Deborah Voorhees, which is a cool link.
You don't see her kill, but you get a good like payoff with the eyes. Like I like that.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's just not the same. It's not the same as like the impact of seeing it in the moment.
No, I know. It really gets bogged down by just like you don't see anything. You just get like, and some of them are lazy. Like some of them are just like the one nurse, the guy that's like balding, he gets like the axe to the head, but you just see his face react to it, then it cuts.
Yeah. So like no, and when it comes to like I guess I don't know. It's just I felt so disappointed with the kills in this movie. Like it just felt, I don't know if it was just how it was filmed. I didn't read anything about the MPAA cutting down the violence. I read heavily about them censoring a lot of the nudity because the original cut of the film would have been X-rated and they had to get it down to an R rating. But it just, I don't know. It just, you hear so many kind of weird, disgusting stories. Like apparently Deborah Voorhees, again, the one character, she apparently, like I said, the sex scene was supposed to be 10 minutes long. She said that he would just film like, there was a whole sex scene that was just cut out. I don't think it was even with her character, but she was like, yeah, he would just film us for minutes, like rolling around naked, like just shooting it. It really felt like we were shooting a porno. And like even like gross stuff, like the director asked her to take her shirt off and show her breast in the audition process. That is just like so slimy, and like those are the kind of like gross Hollywood horror stories, like the Weinstein type shit, where you're just like, that is so, like, listen, we have highlighted, we're literally rating these movies based on nudity, but also like you're no, like in the casting process, no, just you can't ask a girl while she's auditioning for a movie to fucking take her shirt off. That's so gross. And apparently too, the director, Deborah Voorhees, and one other actor or writer, I can't remember, some other crew person had said that there was difficulties working with John Shepherd, who plays Tommy Jarvis, that he was very standoffish, wasn't very communicative during the collaboration of the film. But then if you ask other filmmakers, or not other filmmakers, if you ask other crew members and actors on the film, apparently the director was the biggest problem with the film. He was apparently coked up all the time, high off his ass, to the point where there were some scenes where he was so high and in a funk that the cinematographer had to direct some of the scenes. Which, it's just like everything you read about this director just comes across as super unprofessional, super just gross and slimy. And he didn't even make a good movie. I don't really like this movie that much. It's not even a scenario where it's like he was a piece of shit and it resulted in great art. You know, you're doing all of this for a shitty Friday the 13th movie. Like, you're actually just a scumbag. Like, you're actually just a piece of shit.
Yeah, it makes me mad that like someone like him got the job.
And
like,
you know
even
what?
If like it's, I don't know.
No, he didn't get the job. And you know what? He died not long after this film. He died a couple years later, and I'm fucking glad.
Wow.
Good. Fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. You made everybody uncomfortable on set. You were coked out of your mind. And other directors have had coke problems. I'm not saying it's like, it was a thing in the 80s. I'm not going to be like, oh, all the stars and you know, celebrities and filmmakers and stuff weren't doing hard drugs. But if you're that fucked up that you can't even direct a scene, you just shouldn't be there.
Right.
And hey, like, maybe stop making women feel uncomfortable. Just like a basis thing, like a basic human thing. I don't know. Fucking gross ass.
It's a man that took
that
was his favorite part of the Friday the 13th movies. He took the nudity very seriously. So it was an important part of the audition.
Yeah, the only fucking good part of the movie is the nudity. The kills are not good. The pacing is awful. The pacing is fucking terrible. And where we highlighted in the last film how we really enjoyed the sort of dichotomy and the different dynamic of having the new group of like horny teenagers kind of mixed in with that family, that kind of secluded, tight-knit family, was like a nice addition. In this one, you're just getting like random shit. They spend so much. It's kind of funny, the mom and son character, but they spend so much fucking time on them.
That kills like any flow the movie has, which isn't much. It's immediately like it's really destroyed by their scenes. I don't understand why they're in it. Yeah, however, I weirdly enjoy this one. I still enjoy it. Maybe because I get a bunch of laughs from it. Like, I just think it's like, I don't know. I just get like, I'm like pretty far removed from like, I think you do get some entertainment from this, but
yeah, there's entertaining bits. I'm not gonna. So I didn't mean to get like so angry about the director. It's just like, I was trying to look up like fun trivia facts for these movies, and just like all the ones for Part 5 were just about how awful this guy was to work with, and just like how much of a piece of shit scumbag he is. And I'm still glad he's dead. But like, there's just I don't know, man. There's just I don't think the characters are that likable. It kind of takes me out of it a little bit with the whole inclusion of the halfway house thing. Because now it's not just like horny, dumb teenagers. Like, these are people with like actual like mental health problems that are just getting absolutely like brutally killed. And that's not to say that you can't have like a character who has some sort of mental health issue or has some sort of mental instability die. I'm not like a prude about what you show in a movies, but like, have it service something. And it really just felt like the whole concept of it taking place at this halfway house I don't know, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't add anything. It added in the same way like in the third one, where they just like briefly mention that the woman is pregnant and then never address it again. Yeah, it's like the weirdest inclusion. And I don't know, I just feel like there were so many other ways, if you want to go the copycat killer route, that you can take. I mean, Scream is a franchise that is solely based around copycat killers. Right? Like, it's just a different person or persons each movie putting on the mask. That can work. You just have to do it right. You just have to make it I'm not even saying smart. I don't go into a Friday the 13th movie expecting it to be intelligent or highbrow. Just like, I want to be able to like, even with my brain shut off, not be thinking about how stupid this fucking plot is. And it just plagues this movie down.
How often did you feel bored with this movie?
Constantly. I was so bored. I really I don't know why, Josh, because in like the past I have enjoyed this movie.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
wasn't
if it's
bored.
just because I don't know if it's just because this is the first time in a while that I'm like sort of binging these in like a quicker succession.
Yeah.
And not really spacing them out a ton, but I was just so bored coming off of the fourth film where I was like, that movie was like, there was a lot of entertaining scenes. The characters were at least entertaining. You know, you get scenes of like Crispin Glover dancing like an absolute idiot. You get them watching, like, I think it's kind of a fun, stupid little scene where they're watching that old timey porno. You just get none of this in this movie. You don't get any characters to attach onto. There's nobody that you even want to see survive except maybe the little kid Reggie, who's like kind
like
of a
Demon.
fun addition.
Fuck it, I like Demon.
He's fine.
I love him.
He is fine. I'm not going to say he's not like a fun little character, but if he was like a bigger part of the movie, I think I maybe would have enjoyed it, but like maybe
wish he
just
was,
the
yeah.
pacing. I thought the pacing was just so fucking
I
terrible
think-
in this.
I think the besides like the mom and son, I can't harp on that too much. I already said my piece with that, but I remember this movie kind of kicking off a little sooner. I think it takes forever. I think it takes forever. It's like 20 to 25 minutes in when 25 minutes in when Joey gets axed. And I remember
It's
that
not
happening
that long, but
no, it's 20 minutes. Yes, it is.
you marked it?
Yeah, I was like looking at the time because
Really?
said
It's
that-
20 minutes?
I'm pretty positive it's 20 minutes that he actually gets like axed.
Holy fuck.
Because
God
I remember, like, I played it at, like, 11 o'clock. And I was watching, I'm like, I remember this scene happen. Like, where's the scene with Joey? I remember that happening, like, right after the, like, the Tommy stuff. I feel like I remember almost, like, 5 minutes into the movie.
All right.
It's long.
Damn.
And
That's
I'm like,
so
damn.
crazy. Yeah,
So-
no, that's... Because you even like you parallel it to like 4 or 6 and in terms of comparisons, and it's like I feel like those movies just get into the action so much quicker, and there's just so much more fun stuff going on in those movies. This film, weirdly enough, and finally, thank God, in part 6 they start to like take themselves less seriously. But in this one, it still feels like they're trying to like make like a serious movie, and like they take themselves so serious that they are so afraid to have any sort of fun with any of these sequences. It's just so frustrating because it's like, yeah, you get the nudity, but I want kills that are fun and interesting and aren't just not shown. At the very least, you kind of mentioned how you see the impact of the one character after the fact, the girl in the woods, Deborah Voorhees' character. But it's not even like cool. Like when you compare it to even like Joey, like when they lift up the sheet for Joey, I never caught this until this viewing. His limbs are chopped up.
Yeah.
He didn't just get like an axe to the back or the head multiple times. Like Joey chopped him up like fucking firewood. And like I don't know, man. It's just I don't have a lot like more to say about this. I
don't think I'm trying to read this article on the MPAA. I don't know if they cut it. I think Paramount cut it before it got to them.
Okay, so like the MPAA cut the nudity and Paramount cut the kills.
I guess, yeah.
I want to feel bad for the director, but he's a piece of shit, so I don't. What the fuck?
Let me see here. I definitely don't have a lot of notes. I'm kind of going off by memory here. But
I did feel really bad for a second for the one guy who tries to make a move on the other girl inside the halfway house, and he's like stuttering, and it's so heartbreaking because he's just trying to like tell this girl that he likes her.
Dude,
and
she
wants
laughs
to
in
make love.
his face.
And she laughs at his face, and like, but then again, doesn't he go upstairs and call her a bitch or something?
To himself.
Yeah, it's still like, I don't know, dude. Okay, to be fair, that's
she did laugh in his fucking face. Like,
Josh, she's like mentally not well. Like all these kids are not.
Well, you know, and he still has feelings. So
I understand. It's a lot more understandable than in the third one when Shelly calls her a bitch. She's very nice about it in the third one. Like she's very much like she cuts it off immediately. She's like, no, but we'll talk a little bit later. And then Shelly's like, ugh, what a fucking stupid bitch.
Yeah, that's uncalled for.
Yeah, that's like over the top. Because fuck Shelly. And fuck the fans who like Shelly. Shelly sucks. Fuck him. Glad he's dead.
I love what's the song called? His Eyes playing
Yeah.
when she's dancing. Love that. I like when these movies like throw in those like 80s pop hits. very into it, which is I mean, not that it's a poppy hit, but I love the next one. Just like the Alice Cooper integration, like that shit's just good.
Well, dude, love some Alice Cooper. I do want to highlight one shot that I thought was good in terms of like just visual storytelling.
Oh wait, can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it the neon shot?
No. It's really not even it's not even like an aesthetically pleasing shot. It's just good for what the story is telling. Mm-hmm. And it's when Roy, as the EMT, arrives on the scene and he walks up to Joey's body, you get a shot of Joey's body under the white body bag, but it's between Roy's legs. So it's like a low angle shot. Roy's legs are in front of it, and it is so clearly like a Jason type shot. Like the amount of times in the last 4 movies where we'd see a shot like that, where you just see like the bottom half of Jason's legs or something, because they don't typically like showing him until I guess like later on in the film. But it was just such a Jason type shot, and it was done for Roy, so I thought it was like a good bit of foreshadowing for his character. That to the point where I was like, yeah, you don't even need those shots lingering on Roy. I think that one shot alone would have been serviceable enough to not make it too obvious because I could see as an adult, though, if I would have watched this as an adult, maybe it's easier to pick up on that Roy is this copycat killer. And if you look at his head too, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you look at Jason, quote unquote, Roy in this movie, it's not like his head is like super deformed and rotting like Jason's head has been in the previous movies. So a few little kind of tidbits and not references, but like foreshadowing that, oh, this is not Jason, but somebody just pretending to be Jason. Again, most of the rest of it is not handled well or with any sort of subtlety, but yeah, that I thought that one shot was pretty solid for just like giving a little bit of like a glimpse into, oh, this is what we're doing here. He also wears a different mask. I don't know if you noticed this. His mask is different.
It's rounder, right?
It's a different.
Or it's blue.
Yeah, it's blue. That's what it is. So it's a hockey mask that looks like Jason's, but Jason's typically has the red marks on it. The one that Roy wears is blue. So another little kind of detail that's like, this is not the Jason we know.
Wasn't the third mask blue?
No, when it's Jason, it's always red.
Is it always red?
Yeah.
I thought it was rounder though. It definitely looked like really round.
I guess I didn't take too much notice of the shape. I just kind of highlighted or noticed the blue markings, which were kind of a cool little visual detail. But again, like all of that stuff is kind of ruined and thrown out the window when it's like this guy doesn't operate like a real man pretending to be Jason. He operates as if he is Jason, to the level of Jason's stupidity and lack of humanity, which is just so fucking annoying. And just like,
but there's like a lot of stupid. There's like I feel like you're being a little harsh on 5 because like it feels like you kind of accept the stupidity of these movies and just like kind of like, I don't know, throw that out the window like a little bit. But you seem like you're really grading it like harshly on this. Like,
yeah,
I'm not expecting this movie to really, mark down like legit, like being like logical.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can dock it, but like, there's other shit in these movies that don't make sense. That I mean, Jason Lives probably like if I'm really like analyzing it, there's
that
shit
film
that doesn't
takes
make
itself
sense.
way less serious.
True.
This takes it's a more serious approach. It tries to take itself a little too seriously for my liking. But also I think there's a difference in stupidity. I know that's like kind of a bullshit hypocritical thing to be like, oh, there's like layers of stupidity. But in the last 4 movies, it was always like, yeah, these are just dumb slashers. The characters are dumb. The whole idea of Jason even being around doesn't make sense. But in this one, it's like so stupid. Like when he doesn't move out of the way of the bulldozer, every time I watch this movie, I want to shut it off because it's like I get certain times where you're like, all right, I gotta like put on the persona of Jason for the reasons of covering my tracks, whatever. But when it comes to like actually putting yourself in like life-threatening situations, even to the point where he kind of fights like Jason does, like when he's battling Pam when she has the chainsaw and he's battling her with the machete and they have like a little duel, he's moving slow and sluggish like Jason would. He's not moving like a normal adult human male would, and it just like if the whole goal is to kill all of these fucking people, you're not leaving any witnesses. And like you said, it's not like there's any fucking security cameras catching him doing this shit. So it's like, why are you even doing stuff like that? This would actually be like a really fun movie to revisit after knowing that it's not Jason, that it's a copycat killer, if they had put more attention to detail in making that part of the plot make more sense. Because, yeah, it's fun to go back where I'm like, oh, that's a cool Jason-type shot for Roy. But then they don't do anything else like that to really give you, like, it'd be cool to go back and be like, oh, like, these are little hints and little Easter eggs to show that this isn't Jason. You know, this is a copycat. If they would have just done that, I would have been like, yeah, this is still a stupid Friday the 13th movie that doesn't take place on Friday the 13th. But it would at least make a little bit more sense logistically. It would be a cool return.
He chose to do this revenge path after he saw Joey killed, right?
Yeah.
Where did he get... I understand getting a hockey mask. Where did he get that extra layer of mask to create, you know, a replica of Jason's bald head with the ears?
Yeah. See, Josh, it's stuff like that, right? Where it's like the levels of stupidity go deeper.
But this movie's bad. But do those things affect your enjoyment of these?
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't affect mine.
Because I was way more entertained by 1, 2, 3, and 4 than I was this one.
Oh, hell no. You were not entertained more by 1. No way.
You just hate 1 so much.
Dude, that's not even... No, there's no way you have more fun with this one. There's no way.
Because at least 1 has some cool kills and a cool, like, POV killer aesthetic. It has at least some things to offer in terms of, like, horror filmmaking. This one doesn't have any of that, and it's stupid. And it's not that fun.
Funny. It's funny.
At least in 2 and 3 and 4, you get like a fun group of teenagers, like, again, drinking, fucking, sucking, and all that good stuff. In this one, you just get like mentally unwell people getting picked off by a copycat killer. The only like little bits of fun are Demon, and I have a little bit of fun with the mom and son hillbilly duo for a little bit until they just tack on that way too long. But I don't know. I don't find a lot of fun in this. Like, it's not. This is the type of Friday the 13th movie I don't really enjoy because
I'll throw this on any day over 1. Any day.
I would throw on 1. One has a way more exhilarating climax, a good plot twist and reveal. I like Betsy Palmer. There's a lot that I like in 1 over this one, and it again, there's something charming about it being the first Friday the 13th movie. It's like the first in the series. This is just like a shitty late entry, and it's, again, I just don't have fun with it.
Ugh. I actually don't buy that you enjoy 1. I think you just think it's better, so you enjoy that about it. I don't think the entertainment
I had more fun watching the first one.
You were tired. You were just tired.
It's the first thing I watched when I woke up.
When you got to 5, you were just exhausted.
All right, then explain why I enjoy 6.
Because you know you already like love that one. That was like your favorite.
I thought I liked 5 more than I did rewatching it this time. If you would have asked me my rankings before this rewatch for this podcast, I would have put 5 a lot higher than I do right now. As it stands, it is my least favorite of the 6 that we've
There's
watched.
almost like nothing fun about 1. Like almost nothing.
I think it's a little scarier. I think there's a little bit more suspense in it. I think there's a little bit, and at least, again, though, I'm going back to it, the location. I think the location is a lot more fun. The whole summer camp setting is a lot more interesting than this like little halfway house. I don't know. I think you're putting this one a little too high on the entertainment value.
It's not even that high. It's just 1 is so low.
Yeah, you really don't like 1. What did you give it? You gave it a 4 out of 10?
I think it was a 3 or 3.5.
Damn.
And I gave it a 1 for entertainment.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think I gave it a high entertainment score, but I would give it. Again, like if I'm comparing 1 to 5, I have more fun with 1.
Like,
There's just more charming about it.
I enjoy the male nurse, like whatever scenes he's in, like he's just ridiculous. Like he's like,
yeah.
I don't know, like the diner scene. Oh, you see a nice pair there when she's in the bathroom getting ready.
Yeah, you get three nudity scenes. You get the Voorhees girl, the girl with the huge boobs. You get the nurse lady. No, not the nurse lady. You get she's the The one that the guy goes to meet at the diner, I think. Forget her name. And then you get the girl
right?
you get the girl that laughs in the nerdy guy's face. She takes her shirt off at one point, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just different strokes for different folks. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is my state of mind right now. Maybe I'm just like exhausted by these movies, but I guess I'll have to prove you wrong with the sixth one because I rewatched that one and had a fucking blast with it. So
Lauren hates these movies a lot, and she was like, after 5, she was like, I weirdly enjoyed that one a lot more than 1 through 3.
I'd really be interested to get her perspective on 5
But,
then,
like,
because I just don't see what's in that movie that's super entertaining.
We always enjoyed that. I mean, you know what? Maybe it's because I have a kind of like a long history with 5. We'd always watch it at Ross's because they thought it was like we thought it was like hilarious. So like we would watch that one a good amount.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe I just have, and I don't even think it's like that high in entertainment. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of going back to I guess the plot a little bit to kind of, because I'm kind of wrapping up my thoughts on this one at least. Yeah, I mean, it kind of ends with Tommy, Pam, and Reggie in this barn. I think it's like a barn. They get into this tussle with fake Jason and throw him out the barn thing, and he lands on these spikes, and that's when you get the reveal that it is Roy and not actually Jason. And yeah, I mean,
I kind of dig Pam in this one. I didn't at first, and I do hate when she is like crawling away from Jason and she's just not getting up. Hate that. But I kind of like Pam. I like her and Reggie. I like when Reggie introduces her to his brother. Like, I don't know. There's some things I just like in this movie a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think the ending is bullshit though. The ending pisses me off. The very
Which
end.
part?
When Tommy.
Oh.
Like that shit's just dumb. That like.
How do you feel about the ending of Halloween 4?
From what I remember, I like it more than this.
Do you remember what happens at the end of 4?
Yes. Yeah.
With Daniel Harris?
I don't remember like the lead up to it as much. I remember like the very end.
Okay. With when Dr. Loomis is screaming, no, no.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, now that I'm thinking about it, that also too, you know, how much did Halloween 4 take from Friday the 13th Part 5?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Big influence there.
I would watch Halloween 4 over this movie any day. I would watch Halloween 4 over probably every single Friday movie.
What?
Yeah.
Even like the fun ones that you like. Well, that I thought you enjoyed.
I like 4 a lot. It's because it's got that super cozy opening. You get the Halloween music. The music in the fucking Friday the 13th movies is so shit.
Yeah,
My
I don't
God,
like
there's
it.
like not one memorable track or score other than like the key ma.
No,
Did
the
they even do
the
that
first
in this
one.
one?
The first track. Yeah, I think that. Yeah. I thought they did.
Maybe I don't even know. That's how in 1 year out the other year this movie was. I don't want to watch this again.
I fact checked myself. I went on Pluto and I just fast forwarded. It's 21 minutes that he gets axed.
That's crazy. How long is that opening nightmare scene then?
It's they don't roll the credits. They don't start rolling the credits until I think like 5 to 6 minutes in.
Fuck. All right. Well, fuck me then. I guess I just didn't realize how long it took. That's even a fucking better like argument on my side of things. Then it takes that long for anything to fucking happen.
This isn't good. This movie's not good.
At least Annie's death in the first Friday the 13th movie happens like in the first 10, 15 minutes. And that's a good kill too, the throat slit. I like that. But yeah, you ready to score this one, or you got more thoughts? I'm kind of tapped out. I didn't really enjoy. I took the least amount of notes for this one out of any of them because just nothing was happening.
I'm pretty yeah, no, I don't have anything. I like at the very end when Reggie's sleeping in Pam's lap, I like that the cop looks at him and says to her, "Quiet kid. Brother, he's sleeping. He is sleeping."
Kid's
he just
fucking
says,
traumatized.
Calls him a quiet kid when he's asleep. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Mask in Tommy's drawer in the hospital. He has a knife in there for some reason. Don't know why. I don't know. I think it's a bullshit ending. And I don't buy them not searching him. He's a patient, and he has a knife. He sneaks the knife into the halfway house. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. Comes in handy later. But yeah,
Really
I'm ready
does,
to score these.
Yeah.
If you want to start this one, go for it.
Yeah, I will kick it off. Let me pull up what I scored this. So Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, gets 1 out of 3 for kills. Probably the worst since, I'd say, the first movie, but I do love the kills in the first one a lot more than this one. Nudity, easy 3 for 3. I mean, come on. I don't want to be grotesque. Best pair of boobs in the series. It is what it is. I'm a man. It is what it is. And entertainment gets a 1 out of 4. Other than a couple funny scenes, like I think it's funny when she calls him a dildo. That's hilarious. Other than that, I just do not enjoy a lot of the scenes in this movie. The characters, other than a couple of minor ones, just they're not that fun to watch for me. So, yeah, gets a combined Friday score of 5 out of 10. And it gets an actual score of 3 out of 10 for me. It's a bad, dumb movie.
Cool. Let me see here. I want to be fair. I want to try my best to like have these ranked as Friday the 13th movies as best I can. So I'm going back to some of my ratings just to make sure, because I kind of know what I think is like a better Friday the 13th movie. So I am going with Nudity at a 3 out of 3. It's great. It's just great.
Of course.
Kills, I'm going to roll with you on a 1 out of 3. I love the belt kill, and I think the flare kill looks cool. I couldn't really tell you another kill that really stands out that I actually see. Might have like 20 kills in the movie, but you just don't see anything. So I like the belt kill, I think, even more than like any of the kills in the first one. But
You like that more than the arrow through the neck?
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
Damn.
I would put the arrow through the neck as like the better kill, like just because I feel like, I don't know, you get like a nice effect there with the like piercing. But dude, I just like the creativity of the belt across the eyes with like tightening it a little bit more.
Fair enough.
But still 1 out of 3, and entertainment gets a 1.5 out of 4.
So it's at a 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah. And I knew I gave 3 a 6 out of 10 as a Friday movie, and I think that's a better Friday movie than...
I would watch 3 over 5. 100%.
And it pisses me off that nudity brings this up so much. And I don't know. So I was like...
Those are my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, but like, I mean... And entertainment being a 1.5, I think I enjoy this more than a 1.5 out of 4, but there are some things that just like annoy me in it. So I just brought it down a little bit, like, because of that, but I still have fun with it, you know. So yeah, 4.5.
Right.
Oh, and my actual score for this is gonna be, I'm gonna sit it at I'm gonna go with a 3.6 out of 10.
3.6. All right. So a little bit higher on this film than me. Not super high, but a little bit higher. And I was a little bit higher on the first one than you, so. All right, that's fair enough.
Our entertainment scores are very similar. Like it's
they
not
are.
like
They are.
You know.
I think I just give the first one more credit as a film than you do, which is fine. I know maybe I'm in the minority of that one, but all right. Should we move on to the next film? Do you need to take a break, or are you good to move on?
I think I'm good.
Alrighty then, guys. We are moving on to Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
I'm already mad.
Directed.
I'm already mad.
We'll get into it. It is directed by Tom McLaughlin. Budget of $3 million. Box office $19.5 million. The first in the series to not crack $20 million at the box office. And a Rotten Tomato score of 58%, which is the highest since that first movie.
I blame 5 for the budget or for the box office.
I agree.
That's annoying.
And I've gotten into arguments with people before about this where they tried to say that the box office for like I've got into an argument with Scream fans before because they were like, "Oh, clearly Scream 4 sucks because that's why Scream 5 didn't." Or no, what did they say?
Did they say Scream 5 sucks because of Scream 4?
Oh, I can't remember the argument. It might have been even Scream 3, where that's what it was, because people said, "Oh, the Scream 4 sucks because it didn't do well at the box office," and I was like, first off, the third one is easily the worst in the franchise, so of course the fourth one is going to make less because people did not like that third one. Second of all, it had been 11 years since the release of Scream 3, 2000 to 2011. And on top of that, Scream 4 came out at a time when slashers were as dead in the water as possible. Right when Scream 4 came out, it was competing up against torture porn films like the Saw movies. It was going up against a lot of paranormal type films, like the Paranormal Activity films had just become a huge thing. We were fresh off of Insidious. So ghosts and paranormal stuff were like the big thing in the early 2010s. So of course Scream 4 didn't make a lot of money. People didn't like the last one. It came at a time when that genre or subgenre wasn't big. Like, do have a little bit of context. Like, look into things. Like, don't just make baseless assessments of things if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
A huge pet peeve is when people attribute like box office or like how good the movie is to box office. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, if I don't want to be rude. If you're someone who equates box office to quality, you're a fucking idiot. That's plain and simple. You are just a dumb, smooth brain person. There is nothing about how much money so then I guess Taylor Swift is the greatest artist of all time. Yeah, that's because it's popularity, right? Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time. Most album sales,
Well, some people would say.
All right, if you think Eminem's the best rapper, you're also dumb. I'm fine if you put him top 5. If anyone thinks Eminem is the number 1 rapper, that's stupid. That's stupid. It's just stupid. Man has 2 good albums and the rest fucking suck. Little side tangent there.
What did we say the highest grossing movie is of all time? I guess in relevance to like inflation too. Did we know?
It's Gone with the Wind.
Is it? All right, fine.
With inflation, Gone with the Wind. Without inflation, I think it's either Avatar or Avengers Endgame. I forget which one holds the top spot.
So those are top 5 of all time.
Yeah, fucking Avatar. Ask any random person on the street what the name of the main character of Avatar is, and if they can give the actual name of the character, the full name, I will Venmo them $10. It's not gonna fucking happen. All right, so moving back to Friday the 13th, Part 6. Yes, it did not make much money, but no surprise, the Rotten Tomatoes score pretty indicative. People really came around on this movie and has become one of the fan favorites, if not the most liked film in the franchise. I'd say 4 and 6 are the 2 films that I commonly see as like the number 1 or number 2 films when people are ranking these. And I'll quickly read the IMDb synopsis, and then we can get into talking about this last movie for the episode. So, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, like I said, released in 1986. Also didn't mention it's the shortest movie in the franchise, clocking in at 1 hour and 26 minutes. But the synopsis goes as follows. Tommy Jarvis exhumes Jason Voorhees to cremate his corpse, but inadvertently brings him back to life instead. The newly revived killer seeks revenge, and Tommy may be the only one who can stop him. What that synopsis doesn't really highlight is that the next however many Friday the 13th movies we talk about are all responsible because good old Tommy Jarvis decided that he wanted to burn Jason's body, even though that Jason was already dead and wasn't bothering anybody for several fucking years. Pretty much since you murdered him as a kid, he was dead in the ground, buried, which I do think is kind of funny that for some reason a mass murderer has a grave. I don't know. Seems a bit weird to me, but
you know what seems weird to me? I mean, he's just angry, I guess, but he's going to cremate him. He's not gonna have a body anymore. Yeah, you feel the need to just rail this metal pole in him, like 20 fucking times.
Yeah, and that's where you get that replayed audio from the 4th movie with the die. All right, Corey Feldman.
So Tommy, and I believe the guy's name is Alan, which I made a note of because this guy is fucking funny right off the rip. Like, I couldn't even deliver it the way he does. Like, it's not. I'm looking at my note here. This does not look funny at all as I'm reading it. So you kind of have to just watch it. But when they get to the grave and they open it, he's so like jittery, and he's like looking at Tommy and like looking at the grave. He like wants to get the hell out of there, like get the job done and just bounce. And he's just like, okay, there it is. And Tommy doesn't say anything. He's like, there's Jason's grave. And he's like, okay, let's go. I'm just losing it because like his delivery is so like, oh my God, it's just good comedy right there.
No, it is. And this film is filled with like really solid comedic moments. One of my favorite side characters is the guy who like takes care of the graves at the cemetery. This is where these films really stop taking themselves seriously, and they try to get a little bit fun with it. Because, I mean, this film is essentially, they rejuvenate and bring Jason back to life because he gets stabbed with a giant metal pole, and then that pole proceeds to get struck by lightning, which brings Jason back to life.
Imagine the timing.
Yeah. It's like, hey, maybe don't do this during a thunderstorm, Tommy. Like, maybe burn him on like a nice cool summer night when there's no fucking lightning in the sky, you fucking jackass. I think I already mentioned the actor who plays Tommy Jarvis. He is also a Return of the Living Dead alum. He plays Freddy in that movie. And I don't know. So I will go off and say one of the worst actresses in this franchise is in this movie, the sheriff's daughter, who kind of has like a little romantic thing with Tommy throughout this movie. She is a fucking terrible actress.
Oh, you don't like her?
Dude, she's awful. She is so bad. And every line delivery, I'm like, are you sure that's the line? Are you sure? I don't know about that. But no, this film decides to take itself much less seriously. And I think the inherent plot alone, Jason, I know that we've kind of highlighted how ridiculous the plots of these movies are, but this is again where they really start to get kind of fun and campy with it. Jason gets brought back to life through getting struck by lightning, and now he's like zombie Jason. He's also huge in this movie. He is way bigger than he's been in the previous films. I forget the actor who portrays him. I know Ted White plays him in
C.J. Graham.
Yeah, C.J. Graham. I like this Jason. I like this Jason quite a bit. I might go on record and say that this might be my favorite Jason. I know a lot of, yeah, in terms of just like his portrayal, I like the way that he carries himself. He's got like a really big build to himself.
You know what? Like, stop, because I this used to be my favorite Jason. I used to kind of like zombie Jason a little bit more, but 4 is my favorite Jason. And honestly, what I don't like about this Jason, I'm not in love with the entire look. I don't care for the yellow gloves, like the work, like, I don't know. He's like the tool belt. I don't know where he got that.
So it's more of a design. How do you feel? I know it's weird to like dissect how each actor plays a character in a mask, but I don't know the way that he carried himself. And I don't know if you had looked into this and read this, but initially they had a different actor playing Jason. I want to go back and watch it because I didn't know this until after I watched the movie and I was looking into it. In the early scenes, like I think right up into after the paintball scene, Jason is portrayed by a different actor, but they didn't like the way that he was portraying the character, so they instead went with a different person, someone who had a military background. What'd you say his name was? C.J. Graham? Yeah, so C.J. Graham, he plays the character, and he had like a much stockier build, but also the way that he would walk felt very like military-esque in terms of like how he would just move. It wasn't like a speed walk, but it wasn't like a slow walk like you get with some Jasons. He has this like very methodical movement to him that I don't know. It kind of gave me like Michael Myers vibes, which I kind of liked. And I don't know. I just love how he's been a little bit super strong in the previous movies, but now that he's like zombie Jason, he is like full blown supernatural killer. So he's just way more over the top with his kills. And I just appreciate that kind of element a little bit more.
I feel like he reminds me a little bit of Michael Myers more in the 4th. And I really think that's because of how it's like, how it looks too.
Yes, so, I was just about to say, I think the way they light those scenes and the way that they're shot are more Michael Myers-esque, whereas like the way that he actually physically carries himself in this movie kind of reminds me of Michael.
But he kind of feels stalkier in the 4th. Like he feels like he's like stalking them a little bit more.
That's fair.
You know,
in this
so
one, he is
I do
literally
like that, but
on just
Yeah.
a warpath. And that's what I love about this movie is that unlike the previous movies, it seems like Jason goes out of his way to kill people in weird locations that don't make any fucking sense. In this one, he is beelining to Camp Crystal Lake, which is reopening again for some fucking reason. Just close the fucking camp.
No,
Close
it's
the fucking
renamed. It's
camp.
all right. It's renamed. Camp Forest Green.
They do that. They do that same bit in Sleepaway Camp too. It's like Camp Arawak. Oh, I guess the second film is a different camp, but in the third film, then they changed the name of that camp to something else. You can't just rebrand. That's not how it works. But no, either way, he's on a beeline. So literally, he kills people that just get in his way. Like on his path to Camp Crystal Lake, he is just killing people along the way, including the awesome paintball scene where Jason stumbles upon this work retreat where a bunch of these like office people are playing paintball in the woods and just fucking starts going ham on them, and I fucking love it.
I love the paintball crew. They're so funny. The girl is hilarious. When she shoots them dead, she is so thrilled and happy. She just can't like stop smiling. It's like really funny.
I like to. They're like, "Didn't this one guy shoot you?" She's like, "Do you see any paint?" I love that little bit. You get those two people who are on the road and they come across Jason in the road, and that's where you start getting that more self-referential humor, some of that meta fourth wall breaking. And I'm not sure if you read this, but Kevin Williamson, screenwriter of Screams 1, 2, 4, I don't know if he wrote 5 and 6, but he's also directing the upcoming 7th film. But he said that he loved Jason Lives as a kid and that the self-referential meta humor in that movie was hugely influential on him writing Scream, which I think is a cool little link. So
Jason Lives inspired Scream.
Dude, I love that. That just boosts this movie up already. I fucking love that.
Don't forget,
throwback to our first episode, guys.
Director of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's this guy.
Kevin Williamson.
I don't think he directed that. I think he wrote it.
What? He just wrote it? I could have sworn he directed that.
He's not a director.
I thought he directed that one. Dude,
no, I thought he just wrote it.
He just wrote it. Dude, I could have sworn I've seen the poster and it said like, maybe it just said from the writer. I don't know.
It probably says from the mind of Scream. It's probably super misleading.
Yeah, from the creator of Scream.
Didn't he also write The Faculty?
I think so.
Yeah, and then he didn't write Cherry Falls, but Cherry Falls is apparently a movie that feels like it was written by Kevin Williamson. He also wrote Dawson's Creek, which is a fun little fact.
And Vampire Diaries.
That is a show that I have seen. Actually, I've only seen the first 4 seasons. I gave up on season 5. But yeah, no, I love the self-referential meta stuff in this movie. I love you get the grave guy who he directly looks at the camera and breaks the fourth wall. And it's right after he finds Jason's grave dug up, and he's talking to himself, and he's like, why'd they have to go and dig up Jason? Which is like very referential to this movie itself. Like Jason was done and dead, and now they're literally digging him up and bringing him back, which is fun. And then he's like, what does he say? He says, and then he looks at the camera and he's like, some folks got a weird idea of entertainment. Looking directly at you, the viewer, which I think is fun. And I want to bring up a different podcast, but The Horror Show, they hate this movie. They love the first 4 Friday the 13th movies, but they really do not like the kind of comedy elements that are brought into this one. Whereas personally, like, and I guess I can get it. If you're a really big fan of like the first 4 Friday the 13th, like you genuinely think they're really good or great movies, yeah, I could see how the 6th one would rub people the wrong way. It is very cartoonish. It's very over the top. You get a fucking scene where there's like it's like a bus. No, it's not a bus. It's like a giant van or whatever that flips over. Or no, it's an RV that the one character is fucking this girl in. And you get this whole kill sequence where he kills the girl. Great kill. Great kill. This one brings back the great kills, whereas 5 kind of felt like a real step back. And that's why I'm so confused about the whole... I guess we figured it out. It's not the MPAA. It was Paramount that cut out the more violent scenes.
Why didn't they cut out this?
Was this under Paramount too? Or did they switch studios at some point? It might have been. I really didn't check that part out. But either way, yeah, maybe they knew that people were disappointed by the lack of good gory kills in the 5th one and were like, all right, we got to fix that. Fun fact too. I know you didn't like him, but they originally asked the actor John Shepherd, who played Tommy Jarvis in 5, to come back and portray the character in 6. But in between the filming of the 5th and 6th film, that actor had become a born-again Christian and felt that it was against his religious views to be a part of that. Also, fun fact, I didn't mention it talking about Part 5, but in Part 5, did you know that John Shepherd spent several months working in a mental health facility to get a better understanding of the character? Because when they sent out the original script for Part 5, it was not known to be a Jason movie. It was just written as a serial killer thing, and they kept the part about it being a Friday the 13th film hidden, which, you're not Star Wars. You're not this big movie that you got to worry about spoilers for. It's Friday the 13th. Everybody knows what's going to fucking happen. But like, I still thought that was kind of funny. They also apparently were going to ask the actor, or I don't know if they did or they were going to. No, I think they did. They asked the actor who played Reggie in Part 5 to come back for 6, and even Pam was going to come back, but they kind of scrapped all of that, especially when the actor who played Reggie declined to return because he found out that his character was going to get killed off. So they were going to kill a pretty young kid. I mean, I don't know the time jump between 5 and 6. Like, I don't know how much Tommy ages. Like, it's not really given like a clear date of when these movies are set. I'm sure someone online has it figured out, but yeah, interesting kind of little backstory with that.
Oh, I want to correct myself.
Yeah.
It was I looked back on Kevin Williamson because I knew he directed one film that I saw. Have you seen Teaching Mrs. Tingle?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was in that same like time period, in the same like 4-year span,
Kevin
as, like,
Williamson,
late 90s.
Kevin Williamson dominated the 90s. Like, dominated the 90s. Like, come on. I don't even like I Know What You Did Last Summer that much, but like,
I mean,
Scream,
Mrs. Tingle ain't good, but
no,
yeah, he was on.
I've heard it's not very good.
Yeah. Okay, so I was confusing that with I Know What You Did Last Summer, but yeah. So
well, I gotta ask you. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask if you have a favorite kill in this movie, because I have one that I fucking adore, and it's not even like a bloody kill, but it's just so awful to look at, and it's kind of disturbing.
I'm just briefing myself. I felt like I had this ready to talk about. Well, I mentioned I did like the face through the wall, but I really liked. I kind of forgot the propeller of the boat like digging into Jason's neck. I love that. I do like that one a lot. And then you get like the neck snap.
Yeah,
like it like digs in like a lot.
Sorry, but, Josh, doesn't count. It's not a kill. He doesn't die.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, tell me yours. I'm gonna keep looking at.
For me. Oh,
what is it? Well, I forgot because I like that they show you the heart when he like digs his hand through Alan's.
Yes, that's my second
favorite.
favorite. So yeah, there's a scene in this where Jason straight up just punches through a guy's heart, and it comes out the other side, and he's got the heart. It is so fucking gruesome and satisfying. But for me, there's a sequence where the sheriff, who the entire movie has trying to, been putting off Tommy, locked him up and everything. To be fair, though, Tommy busts into the police station, freaking out, saying that Jason Voorhees, who has been dead for years, is back, and immediately tries to grab just a rifle off of the wall. No shit, they're going to arrest you, you fucking idiot. You already are on. You already have escaped from the mental health facility that you're in. You're already in trouble, and you try to just grab a fucking rifle off of a wall of a police station? Like, who the fuck are you, Tommy? Get the fuck out of here, you dumbass. But either way, the sheriff, whose daughter is one of the counselors at the new Camp Crystal Lake. I forget what they call it in this, but she's one of the new counselors, and they kind of come and they see Tommy locked up, and the group of counselors, and they're like, yeah, my sister and her boyfriend, they're supposed to be running this whole thing, and we don't know where they are. And that's the couple that Jason kills a little bit earlier on in the film. But either way, the sheriff, the entire movie is denying the existence of Jason, like even to the point where people are starting to get massacred, and he still thinks that it's Tommy Jarvis, which, fun fact too, the original plan for this movie was to keep Jason dead and to continue the plot of 5 and have Tommy Jarvis be the new Jason. and Tommy would go around killing people as Jason, kind of like what Josh was saying, the ending of 5, it kind of ends with the character of Tommy stabbing Pam in the stomach. And you're not really given any clear detail if that's real or if it's fake or not. So then obviously with this film, it is fake. It did not happen because Tommy would be in prison. But yeah, so that was the original plan, to keep Tommy. But I think after the very, very bad reception of part 5, at least initially, I know some people have come around to it over the years, but they decided to just bring Jason back, which kind of lends to the whole, oh, why do they have to dig Jason up line? Full circle, back to the kill that I was talking about. The sheriff gets into a confrontation with Jason towards the end of the film and gets into like a little wrestling match with him. And Jason folds the sheriff in half, like fully snaps his spine and folds this motherfucker in half. And it is so, like, the sound effects and just all of it is just so, again, I use these words for horror films, this description, but it is just so disgustingly beautiful. I fucking loved it. But anyway, that's my favorite kill because it's so creative. It's so unique. It's not him stabbing someone or punching through them or choking them out or cutting their neck with a wire or something. It's him fucking snapping a guy's spine by folding him like a goddamn lawn chair. I'm
rewatching it right now because honestly, I'll be honest with you, I must have been taking a note or something when this happened because I think, or I might have been texting you because I think it was around this part in the movie. I was texting you about something. So I think I missed this kill. So I'm watching it right now. But
great, guys. All right, guys, we got another Fear Street 2 situation where Josh forgot the decapitation in that.
Yeah.
It's
so quick.
He's such a youngster looking at his phone.
Dude, it's so quick though. The kill.
It is quick.
I do not remember like watching this. I wish that was a little longer.
Yeah, that's every kill in this franchise. I'm like, linger on it a little bit longer.
That's the weird thing is that they linger on like the heart when it like goes like towards the camera. They linger on that for like a second, like long enough. Yeah, and that's like a very like bloody effect. But you know what? I'm gonna stick. I think with the. Dude, I just love how it looks. It's like so satisfying.
It looks great.
Well, no, I'm talking about the face kill when he pushes her face. I fucking love that kill.
That's a great one too, dude. The movie's like loaded with really solid kills. Even like it's not even the greatest of kills, but just the way it's shot. I like when he like stabs the woman in the head, the older sister that never makes it to camp, like in the puddle. Like she's trying to like give him money, and then she looks back up, and then he disappears.
Dude, that scene's funny.
That's another scene too where you get a little bit of like meta commentary where they're driving up, they see Jason standing in the middle of the fucking road, and the girl says something along the lines of, I've seen enough horror films to know that any guy in a mask is trouble, or something along the lines of that. And then they start trying to back up and they can't. And
I love when she tries to give him the money. That I actually laughed when that happened.
It's so comedic because it's like, come on.
The funniest kill though, I sent you a picture of it. I just could not stop laughing. Was the paintball guy. He just gets launched into this branch, and it cuts to his face, looking terrified what's about to happen to him. And then, dude, the fucking smiley face in the tree. That shit is so ridiculous and funny.
Dude, that is a very blunt, brutal kill for that one. I love to. Speaking of brutal, I love the one counselor. Her name is Sissy Baker, which some people have claimed is like an homage to Angela Baker from Sleepaway Camp. I don't know if I buy into that. There's a couple of, I was reading through trivia, and there was one trivia fact solely dedicated to people speculating about references, and like there was like one or two where I was like, yeah, that seems intentional. But then a lot of the other ones where I was like, that seems like a bit of a stretch, a little bit of a reach. But Josh said when we started talking about 6 that something pisses him off. Something that does bother me too a little bit, as what I want out of a Friday the 13th movie, something that we've highlighted a couple of times. Josh, would you like to divulge what this movie is lacking?
This movie, I had no recollection of having zero nudity. And it is not, listen, I can deal with no nudity. That is not the problem here. The problem is that we made a scale that weighs nudity almost a third of the whole score, and I love this movie. This is like everything I want out of a Friday the 13th movie. I don't even care about the nudity that much because I thoroughly enjoy this movie. The no nudity does not hold this back from my enjoyment of it. Like, it really doesn't. It's a bonus. It's
nope.
Like,
it's a Friday the 13th movies. You got to have boobies. That's the way it goes.
And the fact that this is a lot of people's favorite means that no one really gives a shit about the nudity not being in there. Like, yeah, it's always nice to have it in there, but if you don't have it in there, I'm not going to like prevent it from being
there's
like my
posers
favorite.
And then there's true fans.
Well, I am pissed off that even if this gets the highest score in every other category, it can only max out at a 7 out of 10. That is annoying.
Yeah, it is an unfortunate. I had also forgotten that this movie had no nudity in it when making that scale. So,
I think if we remembered, we would have like either added another category or adjusted the scale. I don't know.
To me, though, I don't know what you can, because I think it's three very separate things for me, because it's all factoring into my, I guess, collection of enjoyment, I guess, with how, like, the three things, like entertainment, nudity, and kills. It's a slasher, so you want the kills. It's Friday the 13th, which has kind of made a name for itself through its nudity. And then, to me, the entertainment, it can be partially the kills. It can be partially the, what do you call it? It can be the nudity. But also, the entertainment factor for me also comes in where, it's just the character interactions with each other. Whether it's Crispin Glover doing a crazy, weird dance, or them watching that stupid old porno, or just... I don't know. There's just different elements that I factor into the enjoyment other than the other two categories.
Yeah.
So it does suck overall, but I got to be true to myself. And it's like, if what I want out of a Friday the 13th movie is those three categories, I think 4 edges it out. I love that this movie takes a less serious approach. It's way more over the top and goofy and comedic. But I do think 4 is just the better made movie as well. Not even just factoring in like enjoyment or what you want out of Friday the 13th movies, but just as a movie, it's better directed. I will say though, I absolutely adore the pacing in this movie, and it mainly just goes back to what I said, where the film kicks off, Jason is resurrected, he's back from the dead, it's zombie Jason now, and from then on, he is just making a beeline to Crystal Lake, where he is just killing everybody he can in sight. Everybody who gets in his way. It's not like he goes out of his way to kill people. If he's in the woods and he sees you, boom, you're dead. So we're kind of past that point where it's like, oh, only the characters who are drinking or having sex get killed or being promiscuous. Now it's, oh, I'm just going to kill everybody that's in my path. But unlike 5, this one, it makes more sense plot-wise because he's headed somewhere. He's got a destination he's going to. I will say, though, I'm not in love. I know you like that kill with Jason, kill in quotes, with the propeller blade, but I'm not in love with the final... It's not even really a chase. It's more so just like the climax of the movie.
I feel that. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. First off, I don't get why it is like this like connection between them. He's like...
I have to attribute it to Tommy being the one who killed him. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, yeah, this is the person who killed you.
What's the girl's name? The main girl? The blonde girl? The daughter? What's her name? I don't remember. But he has her. He has her in his grasp, about to kill her, and I don't buy into him stopping to go over to Tommy. He's gonna kill her in a second, and then like. I don't know, but
that scene's already done. But you can get around that scene by just not the second he gets his hands on her, she should be dead.
Right.
The amount of times we have seen him just grab somebody and squeeze their head and pop their eyes out or crush their skull, and now he's even more superhuman, more supernatural, and he gets her head, and he's squeezing her head for a couple of seconds, and then Tommy gets his attention, and Jason is like, "Oh, what?"
And how Tommy is able, like Jason is a lot stronger now. He's more indestructible, but Tommy's able to like wrestle him. Like, I don't buy all that.
Even the sheriff puts up too much of a fight against Jason at this point. Like if this was Jason from the second movie, the sack over the head Jason, I could buy into that more because that Jason is a little more clumsy, a little more goofy. This Jason is now much more, like we said, supernatural. Is kind of portrayed as being a little more calculated.
He's strong enough to pull that rock up.
Yeah.
The rock is what keeps him below the water, below the surface. But
I don't.
This movie, I'm able to release a lot of that because this movie does go full in like self-aware comedy.
Oh, for sure.
So, I don't hold it too hard against it in terms of like how much I like it.
Yeah.
And
no, that's fair.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's all I could.
I did. I did have a problem with one of the lines that I thought was really, really fucking dumb, and not in like a fun way, but just like an illogical, stupid way. Is one of the officers calls the sheriff, and it's after some bodies are found, and he says to the sheriff that, oh, I guess this Tommy guy really wants you to believe that Jason's back. He's even using Jason's old MO. And I was like, I paused the movie and I stopped and I was like, what is Jason's MO? He doesn't have a consistency with how he kills people. It's pretty much whatever is in his hand, or if he doesn't have a weapon, he will just punch through you or squeeze your head until it pops. Which, did I even bring up how I brought up the Sissy Baker. Yeah, because I went on a tangent about the trivia fact. I love when he twists her head and pops it off like a soda cap.
Yeah.
It's like a better effect of, I think in one of the earlier movies, he twists somebody's head off. Is it in 4? He pops the doctor's head off?
Yes.
Yeah, so in 4 they do that effect, and I love Tom Savini, and the effect looks great. But I think in this one it just hit a little bit harder. I actually saw a lot of fans, and I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the cast of characters in this movie? Because I'm not like really big on them. It's not like I enjoy them that much, but some people were like, "Oh, this cast is so lovable. I love these characters. They're so charming." And I'm like, they're just kind of like the other ones to me. I like them more than 5 for sure, but
yeah, no, they don't do as much for me as 4. But I think people say that because like there's a lot of like random fun characters, like the paintball crew.
No, they're talking about like the main,
the core,
the main group. They're like the one guy, Court, I think his name is.
I do like the guy that wears like the eyeliner. I like him. But
is that Court?
Yes, that drives
the one.
Camper.
Yeah, the one who's like he's having sex with the girl and she wants him to last the entirety of the song.
I like
and he's
him
like,
a
how
lot.
long? Yeah, he's like, how much of the song is left? She's like 2 minutes, and he has this look on his face.
No, she
he's
says
like
10.
Oh, she says 10.
Yeah, she says 10
Okay,
minutes.
that explains the look on his face then, because he has this look where he's like, I'm not going to last 10 more seconds. And then Jason cuts the power off in the RV, and the song ends, and he comes, and she's like, really? Already? And he's like, what? The song ended. You're right, I do like that movie. I like, too, when he's trying to, like, bullshit about, like, Native American markers on the ground, like the pile of rocks. He's trying to teach the kids, and he's like, yeah, so basically the chief, if he wanted to like leave his wife, he would just go off with a different Native American girl, and he'd make this little rock marker in case his son wanted to come find him. I was like, all right, that's a fine little character moment, I guess. But
who else? There's the girl that well, I think people like Tommy a lot more in this one, so
because he actually talks.
Yeah.
He feels like a real person. He's not just like a silent fucking prize fighter like he is in the last movie.
I don't really remember the girl that oh, wait. Don't they have a card game? A Friday the 13th card game?
Oh, maybe. I'm sure they have Friday the 13th.
It's the game the girl's like playing that she talks about. I think, hang on.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I thought you meant like an actual like real life card game with Jason characters on it. You mean the game in the movie where it's like,
in the cabin.
Like what cabin is Jason in? I wanted to talk about that too, because the one thing that I've always loved about this movie is that how I kind of liked in 4 and partially in 5 how they introduced a child character, because it adds that extra layer of scariness, because it's like nobody wants to see a kid die.
Yeah.
Unless you're Terrifier, in which you have no problem with that. But in this one, they introduce a whole bunch of campers. And that is the one thing that has been sorely missing from all of these Friday movies. It's why I like... Yeah, no kids. It's why I like movies like The Burning or Sleepaway Camp 1 and 2 more than this, is because it's not just a bunch of adult counselors trying to pose as teenagers. They actually have, like, kids in those movies. And you actually get to see, like, camp activities. Like I love in Sleepaway Camp when they have the little baseball game. Even in The Burning, they have like a little softball game. Like that's the cool stuff that I love about summer camp set slashers is like getting to see the actual campers go about their day. And also, again, just adding kids into it adds a layer of like, and this is the first time where I think Jason comes across a kid and he just kind of like has a chance to kill them, but chooses not to. And that was like a very intentional creative choice by the director. Where
I do
he
like
said,
that part.
Yeah, the director said two things that I noted. One was in regards to he doesn't feel like Jason would kill a kid because of the trauma and what happened to him as a child, which I think is kind of interesting. And then also he said that he excluded nudity in this film because he just didn't want it. He didn't want the nudity to be like the driving factor of this movie. So I think he kind of missed what people really loved about some of those Friday the 13th movies, which is the promiscuity and the nudity. But I respect his decision being like, no, I want to do my own thing. And I think he did it pretty well.
He created a movie that I hear most is everyone's favorite.
Exactly. Yeah. He finally, I think, figured out how to separate Jason and Friday the 13th as a franchise from those other slashers. Like he was able to do enough in this movie, adding in the comedy, adding in the kind of meta awareness, adding in a lot of different elements that make it feel like it stands out, not only amongst the Friday the 13th movies, but in comparison to other franchises at the time, like Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween, you know? So I thought that was cool, like adding that kind of more supernatural element in, like not to say that Freddy Krueger isn't supernatural, and there's cases to be made about Michael Myers being supernatural or not. It really depends on the movie you're watching. But adding zombie Jason into this, adding that kind of meta commentary, and I think all of those elements just that are why I think people put this at their favorite. Not because it's the best crafted of the bunch in terms of like direction or cinematography or acting or anything. In fact, I think it has some of maybe the worst acting in the franchise. But when you kind of put that aside and you focus on what this movie is trying to accomplish, and that's a big thing for me personally when I'm grading movies, is I like to look at what a film is trying to go for, and I think what this film sets out to do, it achieves pretty well, even if there are some flaws that take away from it, whether it's the script or the acting or the characters. There's a lot in this movie to not only just have fun with, but to appreciate in terms of like creative decisions. So for that alone, I get it. And it's you know, we've been hyping this movie up quite a bit. I think it's pretty safe to say it's probably going to land pretty high on our rankings personally. I know for me personally, it's going to be one of the higher ranked Friday the 13th movies when we do that in the fourth and final part of this franchise deep dive. But yeah, no, I like this movie a lot. I think there's a lot of fun with it. A lot of cool kills. Again, I wish there was a little bit of nudity, but that's just me being a pervert, you know.
Now let me ask you this. If I asked you 3 years ago, you would have told me that Jason Lives is your favorite Friday the 13th.
It might still be. I don't know.
But it doesn't have nudity.
I know.
So,
I know.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. That pisses me off.
We can't go back now. We made the scale. We got to stick with it.
I know.
We got to stick with it. All right. Yeah, what else? Any other thoughts on this movie? I don't know.
Let me see.
I like the line from the grave guy where he's like, "Does he think I'm a fart head?" I don't know why, but that line, just hearing like a grown adult call himself a fart head is just so fucking funny to me. It's so juvenile, but I don't know, it's funny.
I don't have any more notes written. I'm trying to think if I have anything to say,
fun little kind of through line with me thinking that the actress who played the daughter character was awful. This was her last movie. She retired from acting after this. Which I think is kind of fun. Oh, no, I really like when you see Jason sinking to the bottom of the lake, you see the old Camp Crystal Lake sign with Crystal Lake crossed out, and people wrote Camp Blood on it. Like you see the old sign in the lake. I think that's pretty cool. I don't love the finale, but the idea of drowning Jason I think is pretty interesting. I think it's in the last couple movies, it's almost like they just kind of take a machete to him, and
but he can't drown.
Yeah.
He could just breathe underwater.
Well, Josh, if you ask Freddy versus Jason, Jason's actually afraid of water.
Yeah, I've heard. I've
It's
seen.
his biggest fear. It's his biggest fear, Josh. As if he didn't actively go into the water in this movie to go after Tommy.
I mean, he was in the water in 4 too when he did the little jump scare in the raft. Like he goes for a swim here and there.
No, Josh. It's his biggest fear. He can't go in water.
He's really scared of water in Freddy vs. Jason. Like really scared.
It like reduces him to a child in that movie. I guarantee you, I am fully convinced. I think it was Ronnie Yu who directed that. He's also the director of Bride of Chucky, which I kind of like Bride of Chucky. It's kind of a fun little Chucky movie. That's another one too where they decided to just start having fun with it. I think that's the big thing with these kind of slashers is you either have, if you're going to take yourself seriously and have like a more serious, mature tone, and take yourself just at that face value, I think you have to be incredibly well crafted. And that's where a lot of these movies have failed thus far, is just the craftsmanship of the movie. You're not anywhere near on the level of Halloween. You're not on the level of Texas Chainsaw or Nightmare on Elm Street, at least that first one, or Wes Craven's New Nightmare, because those are the two best ones. But if you're not going to take yourself, like, that's the thing. If you can get past the whole craftsmanship thing if you just make a fun, entertaining movie that knows what it is and doesn't try to be anything greater, doesn't try to be anything serious. It knows what it is. It has fun with its premise, and it just kind of takes that and runs with it. And for that alone, I can respect and appreciate this movie and like what director Tom McLoughlin did with it. I don't know. There's a lot to appreciate here. Maybe not in the craftsmanship, though I do kind of like, again, in every fucking movie, we have a storm. But in this one, I like the storm a little bit more, and they do a little bit more with it. There's like leaves blowing in the air, and I think I already mentioned it during one of the earlier discussions for these movies, but this is the second one out of the 6 that we've talked about so far in the Friday the 13th franchise that actually takes place on Friday the 13th.
Say that again?
I said, I think I mentioned it earlier, but like this is the only one out of the 6 that we've watched other than the first one to take place on Friday the 13th, which I kind of like that little scene. And I know for a fact, I don't even have to watch the trailer that they use that line in the trailer, but it's when the cop is talking to the sheriff and he's like, well, that kid picked the right day to pull this shit. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And the guy goes, happy Friday the 13th. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, and we can't go without saying. I mean, it plays it like 3 times in this movie, but you get he's back from Alice Cooper and Teenage Frankenstein, which I, as corny as the writing is from some of Alice Cooper's songs, they are just a blast. Some of them.
It's a style. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
But I never knew if because he's back is from his album Constrictor. And it came out a month and a half after this release. So I wonder if he made He's Back for Jason Lives and then just put it on the album.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. But that's soon. That I don't know. I really don't know.
Did you know that all of the initial scripts for the Friday the 13th movies, the first script, because they like obviously they don't want like the stuff leaked, as I've kind of mentioned in the previous episode in this one, all of the titles for the scripts at first were all based on David Bowie songs, and they even have I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this movie. The initial title for the spec script was called Aladdin Sane, like Aladdin from like like Disney, but it's, if you like space it out, Alad Insane. Get it?
That was supposed to be the title for this.
No, it wasn't supposed to be, but you know how like even Marvel movies, or Star Wars movies, they don't, when they're sending out scripts to actors and stuff to read, they don't always put they put like a fake placeholder title in. But yes, and then I think the trivia fact had said this, where if you go into one of the counselors, their bunk in one of the cabins, you see a David Bowie record in the background. So I thought that was like a nice little.
Did they do that for any of the other movies, or was it just this one, like for the script?
Oh no, that's what I was saying. Like all the previous Friday movies, they all had David Bowie songs as the titles for the fake scripts.
What were the other ones? Do you remember?
Oh shit!
I mean, we don't have
forget.
to. We could just chat about that when we're not.
Yeah,
on
no,
this.
I just remember looking it up and I was like, oh, that's kind of a fun little thing. Like I love
Yeah.
hearing different, like Star Wars was originally called Blue Harvest. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny. I also kind of feel bad looking back that actor who played Tommy in Part 5 spent months in a fucking mental
That is
institute
hilarious.
for a Friday the 13th movie. I think I think it was Corey Feldman. I think he only agreed to do the fourth one and be Tommy in that movie because when he got the script, he thought he thought it was for a Halloween movie. I feel like I
Really?
remember hearing that a while back or reading it somewhere, but verify that in the comments if you guys are curious. I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember reading that fact. But yeah, no. I mean, again, these movies are so like difficult to talk about like without just kind of repeating a lot of what we've already said. But
We manage hours.
we still talked about it for hours. Yeah, we're very good at bullshitting and talking out of our asses, but. I'm tapped out on my thoughts. I think
my notes have been gone.
My notes were bad to begin with. I only took a couple, and they're usually just like funny lines or like, oh, that's a good kill. But shall we rate this final one and then head on out?
Sadly.
All right. Well, I
I'll
did the
start
last
with-
one, so
Yeah, I'll start with this one.
kick it off, brother.
Nudity 0 out of 3. Bullshit.
Wah, wah, wah.
Kills 3 out of 3. Easy. Entertainment easy 4 out of 4. So, sadly, I can only give this movie a 7 out of 10 as a Friday the 13th movie. Pisses me off. But
Damn, Josh must hate it. Fuck.
as a movie, though, this movie I'm gonna give a solid 5 out of 10.
All right. I like that. I just realized that I did not rate it on either scale in my notes. So this is going to be off the dome.
Nice.
I'm going to give the kills in this movie a 3 out of 3. I'm going to give it an entertainment of 4 out of 4 and a kill or a nudity 0 out of 3. So that's what, a 7 out of 10, just like Josh.
Is that high? Is that higher than your Friday the 13th 2 also?
I would watch 6 over 2.
No, but I'm saying as a Friday the 13th movie, didn't you have 2 at like a 7.5 or 8?
Oh, it's that nudity, man. It's that
I know,
nudity that's
because nudity
killing
you
us.
definitely gave 2 a 3, and I think kills you might have given it a 2. I don't know.
Let's
but
see.
Entertainment, I think you gave a 3.
Damn, yeah, I have an 8 out of 10
Yeah.
for Friday 2. Friday 2, all right, so like, man, fuck.
So it's a better Friday the 13th movie than 6.
I guess it is.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Let's put it this way. If enjoyment was the only factor and the nudity was not a part of it, I would put 6 above 2.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I'm fine having 2 as the.
You know what though? I'll say it then. I will say that Friday the 13th Part 2 is the quintessential what you want out of a Friday movie, but personally I enjoy watching 6 more, even if I think 2 is a better representation of the franchise.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Cool.
It's fine. And it gets a regular rating of a 5.5 out of 10. I don't think the filmmaking is quite as good as the fourth film. And again, I don't give it as much credit in terms of like its influence or place in cinema and horror films in general as I do the first one.
Even though it influenced Scream.
Yeah, but so, I mean, clearly the first Friday the 13th also influenced Scream.
You think so?
I mean, yeah, the question that Ghostface asks her is, who's the killer in the first Friday the 13th?
That bullshit.
I know that Scream influence. It really, when I read that, I was like, I got a little giddy. I was like, ooh. Yeah, so obviously, guys, no need to recommend the next franchise, as in the next episode, we are tackling another set of Friday the 13th films. Ones that I particularly have not seen in a very, very long time for good reason. And that is Friday the 13th, Part 7, New Blood, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Jason Goes to Hell, which is the 9th Friday the 13th film.
I can't
Do you know
wait.
do you know why the 9th one doesn't have Friday the 13th in the title?
No.
Different studio. They didn't have the rights to the
Really?
Friday the 13th name, so they just called it Jason Goes to Hell.
Stinks.
I wish this fucking franchise would go to hell. I'm so sick of these movies already. Even the ones I enjoyed. This was a terrible idea, and I'm so excited to do the next episode.
Dude, I'm excited to watch the next one because I don't remember them. So I really want to be able to talk about them on a not a regular basis. I'm not over
Yeah,
here
but just
talking about
have
Friday.
like a more
Yeah.
recent experience. Because I remember as a kid hating 7 and liking 8 the first time I watched it,
Yeah.
and hating 9.
I remember
And
like
I
one
think
scene
now-
from 8. That's it.
Is it the one where the guy gets his head punched off? Yeah, it is. Yeah, because that's the only memorable fucking scene in that movie, except the ending, which I have burned into my brain. All right. Well, thank you guys again for listening. But before we fully head on now and do our last minute plugs, where you can find us and all that good stuff, Josh,
Yo.
got a little question for you.
What's up?
Little old question like we like to do on these podcasts. What did one hat say to the other?
What?
Wait here, I'm going on ahead.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Your reaction
banger.
was good. You really liked it.
I love when I strike gold. All right, guys. But yeah, thank you again, as always, for listening. I will now turn it over to Josh for our plugs, and then we will head up on out of here.
Yeah, guys, so stay tuned. We got a couple more episodes in this series, so check it out on Instagram. Give us a follow on there. Comment, DM us, whatever suggestions or criticisms you have. We'd be more than happy to take whatever you got into consideration or any recommendations you have. Or email us at franchisedeepdive@gmail.com. Again, on Instagram is Franchise Deep Dive. So, we're always there waiting to, see what you got for us. But always appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're enjoying these episodes because I know Jake is very much loving it.
Oh, guys, because of when this episode is out, we will probably have a lot of stuff recorded ahead of time. But if this is for some reason when the podcast starts kicking into gear a little bit and people start listening a little more and interacting with us, in terms of suggestions, I wanted to talk about you in this with Josh in private, but I was thinking we did romance-based movies for February this past year. I was thinking of doing found footage February next February. And I think if you guys suggest when these episodes are coming out, I don't know if we'll have recorded stuff at that time, but leave suggestions and recommendations on what found footage series you guys would like us to kind of break into. There's not really a lot, but you got Paranormal Activity. We could tackle Blair Witch, which I know the second one isn't technically found footage, but
it's related.
It's related. The first and the third film are both found footage. I know there's not a ton out there. I mean, most likely we'll probably do Paranormal Activity because it's like the most famous one. But if you guys have any other suggestions, it's not that long. Oh my God, there's like 8 of those now.
Yeah.
Fuck. I have it in my head that there's like 5, and then I thought, and I was like, no,
Nah.
they've released a couple recently. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 marked ones. Next of Kin. Fucking. Oh, Bloodlines or something like that. Blood something. I don't know. There's so many. None of them are good. None of them are good. All right, guys. But again, thank you for listening. As always, we definitely went on too long for this one. I think we went even longer than the last episode. So that's cool. But either way, guys, catch us on the next episode of Franchise Deep Dive. We air every 2 weeks. So we'll check back with you then. See you guys next time.
Catch you
Goodbye.
later.